Mood Billy. Yo. Bad Mood Billy. Yo, yo, yo. Yeah, yeah. Once
Brendan
again.
just doesn't take good notes.
Who doesn't?
He doesn't take a note well. I gave him
Who
a
doesn't?
note. Brendan.
The note is him being in a bad mood.
It's true.
That's
Yo,
the
yo,
note.
yo. Once again, you are now tuned in to Pop the Trunk. My name is Vinnie Paz. I am here with mi compadres, my co-host with the co-most, the Mr. Majestic, left, right, left kid, Mr. Brendan Long. What's the word by now?
No, I'm just silenced. I don't even,
were-
between these people in the comments and Bad Mood Billy, this kid came on this thing. He's got a backup mic. He's got backup headphones. It's all bent out of shape.
He is bent
And
out of
I got
fucking shape.
the riot act read to me right before we go on air.
You did? What did he tell you, pal?
You don't take constructive criticism very well, my friend.
I take it perfectly fine.
I'll agree
I'm
with
taking
that,
it
too.
fine.
Look
No,
at
you
this.
are all gonna get stabbed.
See?
See, he just proved it. He went to stabbing.
He did. He always goes right to stabbing.
No, I you guys want to do your little dances during the intro.
I don't know what that
and
means.
Well, there was a Pop the Trunk dance. We couldn't figure out what that was. It looked like somebody
That's
doing
true.
a wheelie on a BMX bike. So now he's got the key fob or the proctologist, and I usually express my discontent with it. So the note is,
Right.
don't tell me that my dances gross you out.
That wasn't
they
the
do.
note.
No, I believe the note was you chirping during a certain point of the intro
Right.
messes
But I
him
mean,
up, is what he's saying.
it messes Billy up.
I don't know.
Right.
I'm
Things
transcribing.
If
roll.
you go back and listen to the last episode, listen to the first 10 seconds to hear what my note was as you talk over the intro.
Brendan's contention
intro?
is who cares?
Who cares?
All right,
that-
well,
Bill,
I
No,
care.
no, no, no,
Billy
no.
cares.
I'm
I
not
care.
agreeing. Do you get what I'm saying, Billy? That's his. When he was arguing with you before we went on air,
mhm,
he wasn't not understanding you.
Yeah.
right.
So
I just
your
don't
note
care.
is like, yo, you don't listen. He is disrespecting you.
Mm.
He's like, no, I understand what you're
Yeah,
saying. to
here's
me.
the
I
line
just
in the
don't
sand.
care."
He doesn't care.
So
Right,
it isn't
right.
about ability to take notes. It's
He doesn't respect my authority here.
he doesn't.
Well, there is no authority here. That's the
I am
thing. What's the authority?
authorized to give you the note.
So it's
I'll
your
give you a note.
contention. It's your contention, Long, that he doesn't have tactical command.
No, he couldn't. When did the link come through tonight? I
He
just said
did
the
it.
link.
You said it.
Yeah.
He
That's
fumbled the rock
because I
with
told
a
you
part
that
of
you guys
DeRosa.
haven't realized that
the
that's
star
the
of the
same
show
link.
was upset about us not, giving him a link. The kid wanted to log in. And
Right.
You're worried about me talking through the thing, and I had to send it to Vinny. And you.
Off. Just real quick, Philly. That link. If you were getting your shit together, you haven't had a good day. If I jumped on
day.
the link and so did Brendan, would it work? Or does
Yeah.
No,
I
I
can-
think I have to let you into the
that's what I
studio.
thought.
I can let him in.
You can?
Mhm.
That's
made
good
me
to
an
know, I
admin.
Okay,
guess.
great. All right, well,
One
there you
of
go. Why don't
obviously
you guys fucking do the show on your own then? What do
Because
Is
I
that
you'd be
nice?
so you'd
no
be
one's
so
listening
sad.
to me anyway.
is
Yes,
that
they are.
nice?
What are you talking about? You know what the number one feedback I get from people in the streets? You know what the number one feedback is? How funny and handsome you are.
Okay, look,
See
he's
that?
trying to
No, I'm not.
be nice.
Brendo,
I could be. I'm not trying to be nice. That's true.
does
Thank
Handsome.
you, pal. Thanks, pal.
do we change is
I like the frosted tips.
the Vinyuns and the
The
Billions?
Vinions. Oh, the Vinions.
The Vinions are the
You-
best.
I hate
You know
the
what it
Vinions.
reminds me of?
What?
Funyuns. And
Well-
they're so gross.
Let me ask you something about Funyuns.
Hey,
Snacks
please.
in general.
You like them, will you?
yeah.
A nice
Do you?
Funyun?
Yo,
like a
man,
nice
I tell
Funyun.
you, as a snack salesperson,
Connoisseur? Uh-huh.
no, I'm not. I don't really don't like snacks that much. I was surprised when I got into this business how many people like what I call freeze-dried fake onion rings.
Funyuns.
Like, people love them fucking things.
You ever fuck with a pork
shout out
rind?
our guy Carl. I was just gonna
Pork rinds?
say, you know
Yeah.
what's lower than Funyuns? Pork rinds.
I
Well,
can fuck with a pork rind.
I don't think there's a lower thing.
Pork rinds are they're high in protein, so
And I
like
think there's like no carbs in them either.
there's no carbs in them. So like the workout crowd, That's their snack of choice.
I don't want to hear none of Billy's voodoo health shit when he fucking will eat a pork rind. If you still put fucking
No,
pork in your
pork rinds
body,
are
if you put any type of swine in your body in 2026, the most filthy animal, the only animal that can
clean.
kill a poisonous snake when the snake bites it, you're a wild person, and that has nothing to do with Islam or being
good.
Muslim. You sound like Vincent.
I had a Genoa salami. I had a salami hero today.
I mean, the
Salami,
people
mustard.
who would, there's like a couple people in my life, you two included, that would eat a pig's asshole. Still,
Yeah.
like, Planet is Boricua. You know, pernil, how much be. You know firsthand. That's the
Well,
cornerstone
at
of the
Christmas,
cuisine.
yeah.
But I'm just saying, in general, how much
Yeah.
swine Boricua is to eat. He stopped in general. He's not Muslim. He's not on nothing just because of a lot of what I would break him down. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't have to
suck of shit.
Well, then that's fine, babe. But you don't give a lecture the way this billions does.
Listen, if you're
with his
taking advice
African
from
peanut
me,
stew, I'm not taking no advice from you for a reason. You gave tell the
You know what I had for
Pop the
breakfast,
Trunk
too?
listeners who you gave a fist bump to this recently.
well,
Oh, can we? Yeah.
Please tell about where you were in
okay.
Atlantic City. What were you doing in Atlantic City?
I was attending GCW Game Changer Wrestling at the Showboat in beautiful Atlantic City, and it was a night of death matches, quite a few, that culminated in a circus death match. Was the title, not to be confused with the ultra-violent death match.
Billy, I'm not going to hold you. I'm not sure if this goes back to at its root of what you do for a living, but you probably are the best capturer of what's it called when you take like there's a great sporting picture, someone
Action shots
that I've ever seen of someone.
It's all about the timing.
What's the thing you do off of the diving board when you pose? That's called
the leisure dive.
Leisure dives. Them.
I think Billy coined that.
The shots he sent us, Brendan, looked like dudes were mid-move and they were good pictures.
They're great. Yeah.
I'm like, how does this guy do this? But then I forgot he's a filmmaker. But so let me explain to the people who. Well, he is.
Filmmaker. He is.
Let's. I'm a hip the listeners and Brendan. So GCW is probably the biggest American independent now. Not all time. You know, of course, it was ECW and Ring of Honor and stuff. But right now, it's probably the biggest indie. And when you see them come around, there'll be names that you know, B. You know what I mean? It could be the Dudley Boys or something like that, but you'll be like, oh, I heard of that guy. So I was like, Billy, who worked the top? Pause. Like, who was the main event? He went through the whole roster. I never heard of one soul on there. Then he goes, yo, Parker was with me. He follows the indies, and he didn't know one name on there.
Yeah, it was...
So... I'm not going to bury the promotion, but if he drugged me there, because you guys know you got to drag me to places, I would have been hot. Like, there was nobody.
But, I mean...
Yeah, but I got introduced to...
Yeah. Look.
The shirt I'm wearing, Jermaine Marbury. Shout out Jermaine Marbury, who was crossing people over in the ring.
He crosses you over as his move, and breaks your ankles. Billy sent me a video, so I'm now a fan.
So
then the night before he tag teamed, you know the guy, his name's like Luigi, and he brings pizza dough. They tagged up, so they were doing like pizza dough and basketball moves.
I saw that guy.
It was great.
Brendan, I'm a little offended that he thinks we don't know Luigi.
Is that guy's name Luigi?
Yeah, he works.
He's a real pizza guy.
JCW. He works GCW. He did work for Tony Khan, but he didn't get a deal. You know, it was like a shot. He did a shot on AEW.
That
Luigi
guy
Primo.
He came across my feed the other day.
Well, I definitely sent him to you guys multiple times.
My Twitter feed, and someone said, "It's like this guy's an actual pizza chef or something like that." He goes, "I am."
Yeah.
And, look at this. It was something to the effect of like, look at this amateur wrestler. His gimmick is being a pizza chef. He goes, well, I'm a professional wrestler and professional pizza chef. He tweet quoted the guy to correct them or just update them on his, what his resume is. And yeah, that guy's pretty impressive. Apparently, he's still working in the restaurant that he.
I mean, that's dope.
Yeah.
He does.
I don't know if I
Look,
eat
who
that
am I to
pizza
say that it's bad? But he does like a Luigi and Mario accent too, which pops.
does he?
Yeah.
Like,
Love it.
it's a me,
He-
Mario.
Yes, yes. But he's
I love it.
Where
Billy,
does
do
he live?
you-
Where's he from?
East Coast, maybe New York, but definitely East Coast. Billy, do you remember when we were at
I'll give
the
it a Google.
ECW arena? All of us one night, boys' night out type shit, and the dude was on the what's the thing you drive? What
it
did
was-
Tyson fall on, Brendan? Tyson's on a thing and he wipes out. It's a Segway. Is that what
Oh
they were
yeah,
called?
yeah.
His gimmick was he worked a Segway and he was hitting the ropes on the Segway.
Yeah, like all slow.
This Luigi Primo was?
No, this other guy.
This
some other
dude
guy.
I don't remember. Billy, I just saw this video. So remember back in the day when Dusty did War Games, it was like 2 rings or 3 rings.
Right.
I saw this indie. There was like 4 rings next to each other. A dude goes to throw him off the ropes. The dude went through the ropes of 4 rings. hit those ropes, and ran
Love
back
that.
through the other 4.
Love that.
Oh, it was so good.
He says he's
circus-
from Naples, Italy.
The,
Yeah,
s-
of course. Of
the
course.
circus death match had 2 rings, and I love that, they have to set up for that. And
Yeah.
you come back in from taking a little getting some air.
Oh,
come
yeah, some
in.
air.
Right.
You were getting
Texas.
something, all right.
You come in and there's a scaffolding set up on, and it was the barbed wire was the size of the mat, and it was screwed into the top rope, so it was like a second. It was like just a hanging bed of barbed wire. They like to use glass panes. GCW doesn't use tables; they use doors. The local Home Depot and the amount of light bulb tubes they end up having there. I was getting hit by shards of light tubes, and my best advice for anyone attending a indie wrestling death match is do
What
not
constitutes a death match? Does the guy
Well,
die in it?
somebody has to die. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, someone's dead.
someone dies. No, they're just the hardcore style, cutting, bleeding, stabbing. Lots of
Yeah.
that happens.
Jesus.
And the advice is to not fist bump the guy when he's leaving the ring after a death match, because I
You
made
don't
that mistake.
fist bump him?
No, don't fist bump the guy.
No, 'cause
after the
Billy
death
did.
match.
You did?
Yes, and I got all his blood all over my hands, and it was
What'd you do with the blood? Did you save
Well-
it? Like a souvenir, like a catching a
No.
baseball at a game?
No, I did not. I did not save Sicko the Clown's blood. I was tempted to. Sicko the
Question-
Clown.
Now, how
Could have
look,
sold that on eBay.
when I hear about this promotion, this particular promotion, GCW, there's always when I hear about it, I mean, I can't speak on you know what I mean, every show they throw. But whenever I've heard of it, there's been named people on there. Considering this didn't have one, how was the turnout?
It was the night 2 of their homecoming. They always do 2 nights. So we did the Sunday night. I think the Saturday is a bigger show. I mean, Joey Janela came out. He's probably the biggest name. He did there were a lot of 3 team tags matches, 4 team tag matches. So
yeah.
a lot of technical cool shit with high flyers.
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff
High
was
spots
fun.
and shit, yeah.
I think we just haven't been involved in long enough. I mean, there were a couple tables where people were lined up to meet these dudes, and
So you're saying it could be a matter
Like,
of being out of touch.
I think some of it's out of touch, but like you said, they'll usually bring back older. Like I heard Matt Hardy was supposed to be there, but he wasn't.
Right.
Did we see Matt Hardy one time
yeah.
in Ring of Honor? I think we saw him.
I think it was the night that dude was hitting the ropes on the Segway.
Right.
Gavin and I got our picture with him and he was doing the broken mat gimmick, which was fucking brilliant.
Either way, if you've never seen a wrestling show at all, indie wrestling
Is this
fun
kid
to
friendly?
go
Can
to.
you bring your kids to this?
Can you or
you
would
can?
you?
I mean, there were
You
little
can.
little kids there with some
Is there-
things,
is
but I
there,
think they were I ended up seeing them go to the wrestlers. I think it's the wrestlers kids were there,
Mhm.
but
What are the women called? They're like valets. Is that what? Is that
Sure,
What
sure.
You know,
It's
like
still-
In
sensational
GCW,
Sherry.
the women
Yeah.
wrestle the men. So there was a match where,
This thing you were at.
yeah, this guy mollywopped some chick with a chair. It was pretty great.
Yeah, B. There's
What I'm
this.
saying, do they get naked, the women?
No, what do you think?
I'm just
this
saying
is?
how I don't
We're
know.
in a death match, buddy. This ain't the strip club.
Yeah, but he's saying it along with the violence is their sex.
Yeah,
along
dude,
with
it's
it.
you
Is it sex?
hear what you just said death match.
I know.
So now,
I know. Billy's got standards all of a sudden for this promotion.
No,
this is
we
this is
just
bad move,
beat the
Billy.
women with chairs.
a clown
sexualize
bled on
it.
him, but he thinks you're nuts for asking if they were TNA.
Boobs.
Right.
I just meant like, is it at all
No,
kid
you
friendly?
will have to go to stilettos
around.
around the corner if you want to, fulfill that
Do they
action.
curse doing promos and stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's not censored in terms of the language or violence.
I don't think
Just
Brendan's
you guys
understanding what a death match is, and then
I'm
he's
trying to
asking
find
if
out.
they curse.
I don't think it's out of the realm to ask that if I really don't know. Jesus, you're in a bad mood.
No, yeah,
He's really
it's
short with me
it's
tonight.
it's the kid-friendly death matches that we're going to.
Wow.
Well,
being
wrestling
fresh.
has kids at it, and they throw them off the top of a steel cage into
Not
tacks
like
on the
this,
bottom.
my friend. Not like this.
Why? Well, okay, are they throwing the guy headfirst onto concrete?
They're like pulling
Did-
knives out and cutting their forehead open in front of
Well,
you.
no, I mean to be
I really don't
like
know.
to
I-
be fair, like all right, let's say when Terry Funk and Cactus were working the Japanese death match shits, right? It wasn't like women or sex stuff involved in that. It was just super
Violent.
gratuitous violence.
yeah,
But that I think GCW is more along strictly violence, whereas
Right.
you have the organizations that incorporated both. Like ECW did, you know what I mean? There were half naked girls and people
Right.
bleeding.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
that
sometimes the half naked girls made the people bleed.
right. But their home was Philly and their home away from home because Paulie was from Queens, was New York, and it's two cities of scumbags. So they wanted both the sex
Well,
and the
I actually
violence.
went to that at Queens College.
Okay. A lot of the
1997. William.
most of the New York shows were at the Elks Lodge in New York.
Yeah, this
And
was
the-
at Queens College.
and
Sandman.
have you been down here since they redid the ECW arena B and made it nice?
Mm-mm.
It's very
Nope.
much old school club fight venue for fights.
Mm.
You know, like we absolutely have to catch some stuff there. You know what I mean? And they'll do higher end stuff there, meaning, that's why I met David Benavidez when no one knew who he was. But it was a top, I saw
Yeah.
top rank cards there, Sonny Canto, saw Boots there. You know what I mean? Like I've seen very solid
Hey,
very
real quick,
so-
shout out to Christian Cangelosi. He won on Saturday
won.
in Philadelphia.
I
Yeah.
was waiting to hear from you. I didn't shout out to him. Yeah.
I just wanted to real quick give a rest in peace to a boyhood idol of mine. You guys may know the name. The great Tommy John passed away yesterday.
Did he?
83. Yeah, he was really sick for a long time. He wrote a letter this year for Yankees All-Star that he wouldn't be able to make it. Yankees Old Timers game, excuse me, that he wouldn't be able to make it. And this would be like his last, basically like real cryptic that this would be like his last year.
Oh wow.
And he passed away today. So most of you probably know that if you're not a Yankee fan, you probably know the name because
From
of the
surgery.
surgery that bears his name, Tommy John surgery. But the great Tommy John, who when I was a kid, he seemed like he was old, but he had like a second career because of this surgery. And those lean Yankee years, if you guys were around like I was around in the 80s when they were terrible.
Yeah, they were rough.
Tommy John was a staple and a consistent winner during those low years before the dynasty starting in '96. But anyway, I just want to say rest in peace to Tommy John. And actually, Hayden Panettiere passed away too. I don't know if you guys know that actress.
Yeah, 36 years old.
yeah.
If I didn't ever get super into anything she was in. She
I
was
aired
married-
Heroes at NBC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
worked on
Yeah,
that
people seem to love that.
It was a great show.
She if you're a boxing person, she was married to Vladimir Klitschko. I believe they have a child, a
Correct.
young daughter.
Mhm.
As
Kaya is the daughter's name.
as we're recording, we don't know what happened. There's just lots of weird. If
Yeah.
you go down, Billy, if you go down the weird rabbit hole that you and I do,
She just released a like a memoir
yeah,
about like, you know, kind of obviously what a memoir is documenting one's life, but there's a lot of stories about being exploited, you know.
she did an interview. I forget the dude's name. I guess it's a podcast that's also filmed. It looked like a real set.
Yeah,
Okay.
that
You know what I
dude's actually
mean?
pretty big. I forget his name.
Yeah, so do I.
I'm not
and
hip otherwise.
She kind of doubled down on that area of it. Like the memoirs, obviously, her whole life.
Yeah.
But she sort of
it's-
went into
this
like,
is the, well, this is the, like at the NBC upfronts, actually, for Heroes, apparently, it, you know, a lot of the people when they do this stuff goes like unnamed, and it's kind of like,
yeah,
It's called the Jay Shetty podcast.
yeah, Jay Shetty.
you know, you do like the Mad Libs kind of
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
of
yeah,
who it
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
And I believe it was a writer, producer, director, like exposed himself, who was like twice her age, like exposed himself to her when she was like 18 or something.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
They but yeah, the girl, she was in a movie like that was big with the younger girls. That girl just passed away last year.
Oh,
She was
really?
in that with. She was like 39.
Mm.
Michelle Trachtenberg or something.
Oh
Am I
yeah,
making that?
yeah. Michelle Trachtenberg. She was like a Nickelodeon.
Right. So that
she
was
on
last
Pete
year.
and Pete.
Right. So
Which
that
is
was
brilliant,
last year,
that
and she
show.
was
I used
39.
to love Pete and Pete.
Pete and Pete.
She was
good show.
39, and Hayden Panettiere.
She was sick.
36.
What was?
Yes.
Can you look
Yes.
that up, Billy?
It
What
was
Michelle
something.
She had like a really. She was sick.
Yes.
That poor
What
girl
was
was
her
sick for a
name?
long time. Michelle Trachtenberg.
Yeah.
She was really sick.
So
I think she knew. I think they. I know it's rough to say that, but I think she knew. They knew that she.
Diabetes mellitus.
Boy, oh boy. What is that diabetes? It's a different kind of diabetes.
I don't know. But yes, that was some big news for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you guys, you know, excuse me, you guys already know this by now that you're hearing the show, but I mean, 36. I don't know. Something's up. You know,
Sad.
I'm not
Really
Yeah.
sick. Her brother passed away like 2 years ago.
Yeah. I know, but you know, she had said the stuff about what had happened to her, some horrible shit that had happened to her in her past.
Right.
And then they said something like just debilitating back pain or something. And you know what happens when you're in that much
Right.
pain, what can go down there. I'm not gonna say
Yeah,
anything. You know what I'm saying?
allegedly. But
Well,
she
no,
had,
it's not
yeah,
alleged that she had pain. I'm not gonna
but
go
there
past
was
that.
she had drug. I believe she had gone into rehab, and part of that memoir talks about her mom. That it very contentious. The mother was very much a stage mom.
Okay.
So the mother was I believe at one time a soap opera actress. I don't want to say star.
Okay.
And was vicariously living through her,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
her daughter. We've
Which
talked
happens
about
all-
that.
Yeah, we have.
What kid turns out normal?
Yeah. And can we name one? I thought of it as soon as I saw she passed. I was gonna be like, do any of these kids make it out?
Not unless they go a different route, like in the business. You know what I
Right.
mean? And like, you know, like Chunk from Goonies
Right.
is like a entertainment lawyer
Right.
and like represents. I hope it's not to exploit actors, but
Right.
you know, to do a better job than.
I mean, all the Calkin kids are alive. You know, I don't know enough about Macaulay Culkin's story to go.
I think
alive
he's
and
kind of
well.
righted the ship. I think he's like defied the odds, and he. I saw him
Right.
recently. He looks great.
His
Kieran
the brothers have done some dope stuff and are both super talented.
Culkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what's
What's
the
the
other brothers? The one was in, you know when something you love is about to be made into a movie, and before you even see the movie, you go, fucking hell. Lords of Chaos is a book about the Norwegian black metal scene, you know, when they were burning the churches and stuff.
Okay.
And when it got into production, The one Culkin brother, not Macaulay. It might be Kieran, or I think it's the
Rory
other one.
Culkin?
Rory.
Rory. I think it's Rory. Yeah, because I say it in a rhyme, I think. Lords of Chaos, Rory Culkin. I think I say it on some shit that I recorded. But you know, it was and I watched the movie. I was like, I'm glad they're making it a movie and the story can be bigger, but is this going to be the pits? But I remember being like, that's a weird.
Kieran Culkin's in a movie I love called Igby Goes Down. Have you ever seen Igby Goes Down?
No, but I know it. I know
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
great.
Yeah.
Great movie.
But yeah, we went, we did I think we did maybe a whole episode of Can You Get Out of This a
right.
lot.
At least we did quite, it's really difficult to navigate it. And again, when so much is put in front of you at such a young age, your childhood is important. Being a kid is important because it helps shape who you are as an adult. So if you are made to be an adult at a very young age and care for your parents, kids, or otherwise, I don't know if, your parents and their kids, meaning like your little brother, or you know what I mean, or even your older brother, because you're the star. I don't think you're gonna have much of an adulthood because you're gonna constantly be searching for your identity as a child, and it's really sad stuff. But rest in peace, man. That's tough.
Yeah, man, that's a kid.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Today is you're listening to this on August 26th.
Is that the case?
That's the case. It's a very important day in the world of Vinnie Paz.
Is it now?
I would say so.
What makes that so, Brendan?
Well, there was
we have to figure out how old young Billy was at this point in time.
Yeah.
Right?
How many years ago we talking?
2003.
2003.
On this day, Visions of Gandhi dropped.
Visions of Gandhi came out. And
this
is a big record for you.
August. Yeah, man. Well, look.
So this was right after the blackout of 2003.
I was 18 years old.
I was 22, about to be 23. And I'm 45, going to be 46 soon.
Boy.
Yeah. So this is a big record.
Well, there's
61 top hip hop albums, R&B and hip hop albums. Number 11 on the independent albums charts. Number 14 on Heat Seeker albums charts in the United States. A big record.
Yeah, I haven't heard those statistics since then.
I'm telling you.
No, I understand that. It's life comes at you quick, man. So it's a lot of time, when you're ripping and running, things sort of happen and there isn't any time to enjoy them because we were leaving for tour.
And this is the third Jedi Mind Tricks.
Right. And then if you count the EP, it's the fourth thing we dropped. So you go, well, you already established, but it's like, okay, the EP and Psychosocial were both so weird that to a lot of people, they had just heard of us at Violent by Design. So there was a lot of fear of a sophomore slump, even though it wasn't the sophomore album, but it was it is not our second thing by any means. And if you include the demos and stuff like that, but in terms of a massive scale,
Yeah.
And it was our first time with a machine behind us. Because
is this the first record on Baby Grand?
Yes.
Okay.
So I had to hit Pablo up because, I've talked about this before on air, but we didn't go into it. But I spent a lot of fucking time in New York on this record. Chung King was down near Houston and Varick. You would have to explain like where that is as far as Manhattan is concerned to the fans.
How it's right. Houston and Varick is by SOBs.
Yeah,
so it's downtown on the west side in the West Village.
And so Pro Tools had become industry standard. You guys one of you would have to look up like what if they would even give you an answer. Like what year did it become industry?
So this is non-linear recording. If you guys know what that means, and it's timeline based recording. So where you used to have to record onto a tape or a DAT and then digitize that. You
So-
could still do that.
Correct.
You just
That's what
didn't
I'm
have
getting to. We were still doing it.
Right.
So Stoop and I had started putting shit together. So Violent by Design drops in late 2000. So boom, we're already into 2001. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
right when it drops, we're into 2001. We dropped the Retaliation single, which had a remix and the Blood Runs Cold shit with Sean. You know?
Yep.
And that's before Sean had his resurgence. Because Sean would always say to me, yo, no one was checking for me when you put me on that song. He would say it in interviews. That's not me saying so behind the... See, you know, he would tell me, yo, I love you for that and all the time. But he said it out loud. So I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
not speaking out of turn. Like, yo, nobody was checking for me. when
Talking
you
about
put me
Sean
on
Price, guys. The
Yeah.
late, great Sean Price.
So there was just doing a lot. I don't want to use the word touring because, as I mentioned before, it was a lot of those spot shows for a bag. You know what I mean? And those go do it, come home. You know,
Yeah.
go do it, come home.
In how far would you travel for those? Were they close to Philadelphia?
Well, once you go around the world, I would call them close. But back then, when you're a Philly kid who never went anywhere, you think that's far as shit. If you go to Portland, Maine, or Virginia or something, you're like, holy shit, we're
Right.
fucking, someone cares about us down there? Now, I would tell you, no, mad close. Yeah, Boston. Yeah, Connecticut. Yeah.
And did you strawberry quick anybody on those trips to get home?
No.
No. Okay.
No,
Just
I
making
wanted
sure.
to strawberry quick whoever was booking them, but I couldn't, you know, I couldn't physically get to them. So we get, we were always thinking about what's next, but stuff started coming in front of us. So then is when, right before 9/11, so you're talking about like a year before, a year after Violent by Design is when I took the meeting that I told you guys about, where they wanted me to be like a Tony Soprano guy.
That was after Violent by Design.
Correct.
Okay.
And before Visions of Gandhi and Baby Grand.
Right. So the Sopranos are in
That was a
full
capital.
effect.
That was yes. It was like Sopranos mania.
Mania.
You know,
Right.
and they're like, yo, we have a real Italian. This isn't like, oh, we're gonna call a white kid Italian, but he's
Right.
a Metagon or something. Yo, we can really run with this.
Was it like you and Jojo Pellegrino, like the only two Italian
Yeah,
MCs?
Jojo was with Baby Chris and Violator, so they were, you know, people were, but Jojo, like Jojo's nasty, so he's incredible rapper. So there was no, oh my God, this is manufactured when it came, you know how I thought about him then and now.
Yeah, no, I didn't
loved-
mean that. I just meant like in the what other Italian rappers?
No, what I mean is
Italian American rappers
I didn't
from an
view him
American city.
I didn't view him as like being gimmicky or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
The same way he doesn't view me as being gimmicky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
wasn't trying to.
I know
just
you
saying,
weren't.
Yeah.
I know you weren't. I'm establishing who was out there, and that there were the Sopranos had come, and the wave of we need a white guy because this Eminem guy is now 2 years into superstar.
Right.
You know, 3 years since he dropped, but 2 years into superstar.
I was gonna say, so who's out? Like Bubba Sparks, right? You have him. He had a. He
the
hit pretty big.
timeline. Billy would have to look timelines when Bubba Sparks dropped with the song where he was in the mud. But again, even though you could say they were running with the hillbilly gimmicky shit, he could rhyme, and he had Timberland. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everyone at this point was like, well, what's our white boy's gimmick going to be? Because God forbid you're just a dope white boy.
Right.
God forbid you can just spit and make joints. There's no way that's happening. You know what I mean? So, all right, should we run with a wild white boy with the Eminem thing who had the bleach blonde hair and I hate my mom and my sister and I'm off the wall. You know what I'm saying? Even though the cornerstone was that he could rhyme. You know, that he was incredible at putting words together and his production was Dre, you know? So it's like, but they still ran with what they ran with. I've never heard M say he hated that they ran with that. So that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever gets you over, as long as you know, at the end of the day, it's about being good.
Sure.
You can't have this many years of career that he has. I think we're in like the 28th year. You know what I mean? His
Yeah, I mean,
independent shit
it's-
came out in 96. So we're going on 30 years of him being out.
Hmm.
You know, and he's much older than us, B. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he's in his mid to late 50s now. You know, he's
Right.
got a grip on us. So I viewed it as that every major, because there were still a lot then. You know, there hadn't been this conglomerate of 3 machines on Earth, which we now have.
Right.
There were still mad majors then, and each of them was searching for their Eminem, more specifically their white boy, because they go, well, we can't. Can we just out and out have a blonde haired crazy white boy? That's just, you know, that's even.
I just
stupid
find
for
this so
them.
weird because House of Pain. I mean, the Beastie Boy, like there was, you know, I just it's so weird to me, like that. The Eminem white guy phenomenon of 1998, 1999, sort of, kind of always struck me as like, this has been happening.
Okay, I want to be clear about this. I do not believe what I'm about to say. I'm going to say how the machine viewed it. It was like, well, House of Pain has like the Irish gimmick. Meanwhile, they were just dope and still are. All 3 of them at what they do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Regardless of the fact that they're making music together or not now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Danny does his thing. Everlast does his thing. So does Lethal. The Beastie Boys were active up until MCA passed.
Right.
But the way labels looked at them, it was like, well, these guys got the Irish white boy thing, and that's like sort of an ethnic angle. And the Beastie Boys have the thing where, like,
They play
yeah,
rock music.
they play rock and they're punkers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they viewed this as like this new thing where, well, this hasn't been done before. There have been white people, third base.
I was going to say, yeah, sorry, and no disrespect to Pete Nice and to Search. I can't believe I left them out, but yeah, again, and like their
Milkbone had been out.
Milkbone had been out, right? But
Shout out Milkbone.
Search was like Search and Pete Nice, third base on MTV.
Yeah.
Spins. Search had a high top. He could dance. I mean, you know, it wasn't. I get like the angle of like the Beastie Boys or whatever, but like Search and Everlast were like rap, like really good MCs.
Well,
Dope
third base
MCs.
was
And
embraced
so was
by the
Pete
black
Nice.
community, and it wasn't crossover white music.
Right.
The Beastie Boys and House of Pain were. Irish white boys lost their fucking skull when they saw.
I think
that
everybody
fucking-
did. I mean, that thing was played at every
fair,
school
but
dance,
I'm saying
right?
specifically. I mean, I heard someone recently say on one of these podcasts that come up in our algorithm, like, "Yo, is fucking Jump Around like the biggest fucking rap song ever?" And then explained why they said it because of the later publishing stuff and commercials and stuff, not
Right.
just chart performance.
Right, but
you
like
could see a new
halftime at an NBA game.
Yes, you could see a new commercial, and
Right.
it's Jump Around.
It's like, yeah, like you know, it's that. You know?
I'm not saying I agree with the
What
person
if-
who said this. I'm saying that when they said this, I absolutely went, they're onto something. That's something to discuss. I'm not gonna go.
I wonder if that song didn't come out, right? Like, say they sat on it and it didn't come out on the first record.
Yeah.
You know, would they have been more of like a third base in terms of what you said? You're saying the great point you made that like third base was white guys rapping for the intended audience of
Hip hop then, which is black and
hip-hop heads,
Latinos.
right? Urban black people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, would a kid from Valley Stream who moved to out here on Long Island, which is Everlast, moved to California, who rapped like an East Coast rapper? Flo was an East Coast rapper.
Absolutely. You and I have discussed how initially first hearing, there were some people we didn't know where they were from, so we assumed they were from out here. Yes, Souls of Mischief says something about East Oakland in it, but we're like, oh, they got to be, maybe one of them lived in Oakland or something. And then same with Cypress. Me and you both said like, oh, we thought they were.
Well, then the
Rican boys
videos, the videos were
they shot them here, because they were based in Philly. So they said, well, just go up 90 minutes and get dope footage of being in New York.
Right.
So there were those groups. I didn't know. I mean, Danny and Eric were both born out here in New York, you know, and ended
Right,
up
and
there.
they weren't like shouting out a neighborhood or anything.
No,
on
and they
the
weren't
record.
like, say, cuz.
But
Hey,
yeah,
blood.
just like there
I
was
just
no,
like,
yeah,
no, they sound like they're from out here. You know what I
Right.
mean? Or at very least neutral.
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
So I wonder if Jump Around doesn't get played at like every bar mitzvah and 6th grade graduation and, baseball game, which again, shout out to that. If you can make a banger like that, you know
Well,
what I mean?
are you saying this rhetorically, or do you want me to pontificate?
No, pontificate.
I think they would be a third base-esque group. Like
Okay, I
maybe
agree.
go around gold, 350, 400,000 records. All heads know them. The album's still a classic without, if you take House of Pain off that record, Jump Around off that record, it's a classic LP without that song. It's incredible. It's Muggs and Lethal at their, the heart of the Soul Assassins run.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you take Insane in the Membrane out of their catalog, they're still all classic records. You know what I mean? But these are smashes. These are crossover smashes. You said it. Played at bat mitzvahs, played at communions, played at weddings. You're into white America.
Right. Once you're a wedding song,
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. You get a wedding song, like,
and you get like grandma up, you know what I mean?
yes,
where
like
you
these
throw-
guys are my friends, so I could speak on this, right? It's not out of turn. Sometimes when we talk about people I know, I feel like, I'm not out of turn. These are songs that you are still making money from 35 years later, and
bless
good
them.
money. I don't mean like, I get it. When someone you'll see them on TV and go, oh, I was in that movie and I get a check for $6 because they still play it on TNT. No. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm like, bro, when did Fuck It come out? Amen. 03, 04? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Amen still, I'm not going to get too deep into it. Let's just say Amen.
Tonight.
That was a monster.
Right.
Amen is...
So when did that come out? Can you give that a Google?
Amon's the most talented person I've ever worked with on the level that we work with very closely. We speak every day, we're as close as us three.
Right.
That's the most talented person I ever knew. Ever.
Shout out
at
to
anything. It's shocking. It's shocking. As good as his records are, as good as he's still the best is still ahead of him. You know what I mean? That's how good he is. And that's how talented he is. And it's why he's still working.
Right.
And able to work because of the talent. You go away after if you have a monster smash and you're viewed as maybe a one-hit wonder, that can kill you. But he's so talented that it didn't, and he continues to flourish. You know what I mean? In various areas of music and film, and whatever is there for him. You know what I mean? He's got 3 beautiful daughters now, a wife, and he lives in Nashville. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's super dope what music can do for you if you use the word navigate when we talked about how you can be young. You know what I mean? Because Eamon fucked up at one point because he was young and rich and good looking. What's the 3 worst things that can happen to you?
Or best things, yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. That's his story to tell one day and come on and tell us, all the highs and lows.
Sure.
But
love to have him on.
Things that he said, publicly, the trappings of that can be crazy. You know what I mean? Bro,
I can imagine.
He recorded it in Italian. Fuck it. It went '1 there. And he flew the whole family to do New Year's in Italy. I forget which city it was. It was Rome or Milan. Of like say 04, 05 or something. Like that New Year's, the whole family, both sides, he flew out. It's crazy. But what I'm wrapping all this around back to you saying, I think House of Pain. So the first record is platinum or multi-platinum. The second record where the lead single, remember, was On Point. It's time to rock a funky joint. I'm On Point. Right. And I think he did a remix.
Jam, I'm the man.
Yeah. And then that record went gold off the strength of how huge they still were from the trickle-down effect, the same way I believe De La Soul Is Dead did. Even though it wasn't received the same way and it was a bit weirder, I believe the second House of Pain was
House
darker.
of Pain record was an angry record.
an angry record.
Talking about beating up bootleggers. And,
Yes, and a
yeah.
response to sort of some of the success.
Yeah.
The way De La Soul is Dead was a response to the success. So those guys went darker, and I love that.
Do you
record.
feel like this is darker for you? Visions of Gandhi? Do you feel like this is
no? I think that there's bright shit on there because Stoop went deeper into the bag of Spanish records,
right?
And I think that led to some. Look,
Same
man,
as
we
it
know
ever
not
was
to
in
use
the
the word commercial with my shit, but shit with a bop.
Right. And now this is just you and Stoop on this record.
Yeah, but let me tell you something though. Yes, did you ever look up when Pro Tools became like an industry standard? Billy, like what year that would have been? When did
I want to say late 90s?
So we had
Pro Tools and
we would buy new stuff, right? But there would be small steps up. So we were still using a mic that was not meant for recording. I believe our podcast mics are the brand Shure, right? Am I wrong to say that?
No, yeah.
So because of you guys both went to college for this, you guys went to college for this. A standard mic when you perform live at a nice venue, sometimes they're different, but a lot of times they're Shure microphones, live mics. You might mic drums with them. You might mic whatever. We were using a mic for live performing to do my vocals. And I was like, well, look, we talked about Violent by Design before. And I would say that Stoop would mix when he would mix, because we couldn't afford to go to a studio, he views his vocals as part of the song, as part of the instruments.
He views your vocals as part of the
so they're mixed low. And I'm like, bro, I get that in theory, but not with rap. So that was us. There was a butting heads there with that. Because I was like, bro, I get it in theory. And if that was applicable, that's applicable to other kinds of music, and someone uses the vocal as an instrument in this, I can see that, but not with rap. You know what I mean?
Right. That would be more applicable to like, a jazz singer or something like that.
Even a record, even a Fugazi record, I could see how those guys could apply that, how they wanted to be buried in the mix it was a bone of contention there. And at the end of the day, when you asked me about my solo record and we talked about Season of the Assassin, I told you there were some things I was going to do because I felt like, look, first off, that's my OG. And I look at him like, that's my big brother. B, I literally wasn't mixing them. Like he wouldn't let me, you know what I'm saying? My notes were ignored in terms of, well, yo, that loop's incredible. I just want to rhyme over that loop. No, gets too boring. Bro, on our demo, we had the loop for Bring the Pain. I recorded to it. And he was like, no, not enough switch ups. So we're in Mount Airy with my man Sox. And DJ Rand premieres that. Sox has got big speakers on his front lawn, right? Playing Power 99 in 94. It's like a beautiful day out. We go to see him and I hear that loop and I'm like, yo, did this guy like give them our demo? Did he change his mind? And I hear Meth's voice and I go, yo, we had that, bro. You wouldn't use it because there wasn't enough switches. So I'm like, bro, this is rap. Monotony is a cornerstone of it. The breaks, you would just juggle the break, a 4-second loop. You would just juggle it in the park. What are you talking about? Not enough switches. So
that story you just said, you just referenced beautiful Mount Airy Lodge.
Mount Airy, the neighborhood.
In Philly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out Des Devious, Mount Airy, Sox, Charles, all those guys are Mount Airy guys. So,
by the way, Pro Tools debuted in 91. They said by 99 it was becoming the most popular. And in 99, Living La Vida Loca became the first number one single entirely recorded and edited with Pro Tools.
Okay, so at that time, I'm just speaking for me. I'm not talking about the industry or other people. So don't fucking write in saying What are you talking about? I'm talking me for Vinny. I wasn't aware of what Pro Tools was or was going to be until about 02 when I got with Chris Conway at Chung King Studios in Manhattan. Guys, if you don't know the science behind Chung King, I'm not exaggerating, and Bill back me up. We can do an episode on what was recorded at Chung King and what Chris did, our engineer at the time. Chris Conway alone, the records he did, is every record that changed your life if you're a hip hop fan from the 90s, from New York, at least. He also won a Grammy, speaking of bringing something back. He won a Grammy because he did work on the Marshall Mathers LP. That's how he got his Grammy. But so Stoop and I are still recording. At those early records, he was still at his parents' house. So we were in the bedroom that he lit. We converted that into a studio. He got an apartment. We rebuilt the studio there. And I was like, yo, I can't do this daytime shit, bro. This is when we're starting to work on this record that we're discussing tonight, right? But I don't know the name yet. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how or if I'm going to hold down a record on my own because Just is gone. Just Allah is gone.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
And I'm like, yo, now on the other stuff, I just always had my boys with me. You know, on the psychosocials, Lost Children, Apathy, my man Chico was my best friend since we were little kids. You know what I mean? Shout out
Yeah.
Chico. Just bought a crib. Congrats, man. So I'm going, well, if I was worried in 97, I'm even more worried now because now we're signed.
Mm.
Can I hold down?
Added
you know,
pressure.
and, yeah, mad pressure. So do I just do that again? You know what I mean? Have Out of Space on Mad Songs, you know, Apathy, 7LSO, like the Pharaoh's Click or Extended Philly Crew. You know what I'm saying? Do I just do that again? How do I do this? Because I don't want to be solo. And I don't care what anyone says. You brought up the point, B, with Gangstar. No, they're a group, but he was a solo MC.
Right.
There wasn't another rapper. There wasn't a third guy. There wasn't a Vin Rock like in Trap.
No.
There wasn't a Fife.
Right.
You
right.
know,
Right.
there was, even if you viewed someone as the main MC,
Yeah.
oh, it's mostly Tretch or it's mostly Tip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Later, that was different with Tribe. And Vinny always had verses.
Right.
So I was like, all right, am I going to try? There was this Puerto Rican kid who was nice. And I was like, should I bring him in? I remember he came and we did some demos with him on some of the beats that made it onto this record. And I was just like, he's dope, but I don't feel like he's a member.
Can we say his name?
I forget his name.
Oh, you forgot his name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I'm telling the story, I can't text. If you text Planet and say, what was that Puerto Rican kid's name that Vinny almost brought in around?
Next time we have and then Planet what said there's not enough room. There's too many Puerto Ricans on here.
He barely knew the kid, but knew him neighborhood wise. Like,
Two's company,
yeah.
three's a crowd. We already got me and Crypt. Which Crypt is this the first album Crypt is on, right?
Yeah, so we did so I Against I was on Violent by Design, and I was like, yo, Stoop, you want to flip it? You know, like flip up the drums, chop the loop a little different, but same loop, same everything, you know what I'm saying? But we'll do
Yeah.
like an updated one for a couple years later. And because Out of Space is just with me all the time, and on tour, it'll be a good joint to do live, you know what I'm saying? Because but I
Shout
remember,
out to Crypt, happy birthday.
Happy
His
birthday,
birthday,
Crip
yeah.
and Plan. We were still working on ADATs, Billy.
Mm-hmm.
So guys at home that don't know what that is, they're VHS tapes. That's what they're identical to VHS tapes. So I'm like, we're working out this deal to sign as we're recording. But Stoop and I were like, well, we're not going to wait to sign. We're going to move either way, creatively speaking, and get this shit started, you know? And then I'm like, yo, I can't do this daytime shit that Stoop wanted to do. Pack this up. This is for the birds. This guy's ready to fucking go lullaby at 8 p.m. And I'm like, pack this up. The one apartment, Stoop's like, know anyone I could live with? My roommate killed somebody in his apartment. Blood everywhere. And I was like, so Pablo bought a crib. Pablo was like, hit Q up. I think Q's our man from back in the day. I think Q's looking for a roommate because I'm leaving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, two people could not have less in common, but Q worked at the airport's night shift, B. And you know what nights are like. Your life's reversed. He's like, what do I care where I live? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, as long as someone's covering half the rent.
Right. I know Stoop through you guys. He's sturdy. Is he weird? Sure, everyone's weird. He's sturdy and he pays the rent. What do I care? You know what I mean? And this fucking Stoop wants to record at fucking 3 p.m. I'm like, pack this up after like 2 sessions. Right? And I remember doing the vocal for Animal Rap with G-Rap. And he's like, he's your favorite rapper of all time. Remember that. Give it more energy. And I'm like, I would if I wasn't recording when fucking my mom and pop-up are fucking having dinner.
Early bird special.
At the early bird special. Pack this up.
So for those that don't know, you record in the middle of the night. That's when you like to do your
I
work.
wouldn't go that far. It's a little bit more slander from you, but
Is that slander?
Middle of the night is 3 a.m. That's what no.
That's the morning. Middle of the night is right now. 11 o'clock is the middle of the night.
I disagree with you, Brendan. If you say middle of the night, I'm 2, 3 a.m. That's the middle of the night.
If they called me at the middle of the night, that means 10 o'clock to you. What are you?
If back in the day, if you had a house phone, and someone called your house at 11:30, what would your mom say? Oh, Jesus Christ, they're calling in the middle of the night.
No, they called late. What's this maniac doesn't know? There's not the call past.
No, the middle of the night is if you are like stirred from a slumber, and your phone's ringing.
You had some recent drama and called me. And
is that the middle of the night?
Yeah, that's the fucking middle of the night. And it was literally like tree. And we were talking till like 4 and then till 5 and then the sun came up. That whole thing was
that's already into the morning to me.
Nah,
why didn't you call me? You knew I was you didn't want to get me in the middle of the night. You knew I was sleeping.
I wouldn't have called you at 11:30 either. So I know you get tuckered out when we're not recording. You're in bed by 10.
Well, he's crying that he's tired at 9:30 with a bad attitude to both of us. Bad attitude, Billy. B-A-B. Babs. Why is this Babs on our like we did something? Billy, didn't you learn that? You know, did your parents ever send you to any kind of counseling, Billy? Did you ever go to any counseling in school? No. So I believe they teach you how to not trauma dump onto your friends.
Because your friends.
Well, that's my form of therapy. So thank you, gentlemen.
You're very welcome.
I made a joke out of this, but now I'm sweating this. Yo, I can't do this. I cannot give the performances that I can. So I kind of say that.
Just all together for the whole album, not just
in life, moving forward in fucking life.
So Visions of Gandhi is when you put your foot down and said,
I'm just going, I don't know how we're going to continue to do this because you're not going to change. The way I've always been a night owl, he's been like this since we were kids. He's 5 years older than me, right? So I was 14 when I met him. He was 19 and on some like, no, I get up at like 6 or 7. And you know what I'm saying? Like I function like on some mum and pup shit. And I'm like, well, it didn't really matter because I was so happy to know someone who made beats and had a fucking microphone and any of that in the very beginning. I would go Friday. This is the very beginning, the demos. I would get out of school on Fridays. You come home, you grub, you know what I'm saying? You bust a shower and you go over there. And his parents were amazing people about that. So we record for maybe around 5 until they were like, yo, we don't really want no fucking noise after this time. You know what I'm saying? This time. So say 5 or 6 to 9 or 10. In the early days.
In the middle of the night. They didn't want noise.
So we continued on that, to be honest, you know, and whenever we could. And it was so bare bones. I wasn't venting because I had no right to.
Right.
It was their house. You know what I'm saying? We have no money between any of us. We put together with our own money enough to buy this beat machine. The ADAT was already on its last leg by Visions of Gandhi. because it was 6, 7 years. It was 7 years old by the
Right.
time I'm saying, yo, man, I can't do this. I feel you that I should be more hype and rah-rah on a joint with G-Rap, but I'm explaining to you why I'm not.
So
I
did
don't
you
wanna be-
re-record that song with G-Rap at night? Or what
Well,
you
hold on,
did is
because
what we got.
this is where there's spotty things. Pablo moves out, buys a home. He's the first person we knew that bought a house, and it was nice. It wasn't, it wasn't a starter home. His starter home was like, yo, I'm laying down my roots. You know what I'm saying? My wife
Yeah.
is pregnant. We're doing this. I'm like, yo, talk to Chrissy. The room you guys are building, they knew it was a girl at this point. I was like, the room you guys are building for Abby, she's due fall 2023 to
2003.
a top 2003. My bad, my apologies. Top of 2003. I'm like, she's doing, in fall, late fall of 02. Yo, Chrissy's pregnant. Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like little boys' night out, this and that. Then I'm like, yo, well, what will Chrissy say if we build the studio in what's going to be the baby's room? Whatever that's called. When it's a baby, it's
nursery.
called a nursery. Before the walls are pink and blah, 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 blah. What if we, you know what I mean? I know what your wife's going to say. She's going to tell you, pack you up, asshole. You know what I mean? Are you nuts? Are you fucking crazy? I want these mental patients in here. The reason it didn't play out that way is because how close Chrissy and I were, and she loved me, but I just threw that in there. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, how can I fix this? We can't afford a studio either way, and if we can, it's our budget. And it's all going to be gone. This Pablo asked this Chrissy, she's such an angel. She says, go ahead, pack you up the second this kid comes out.
Right.
You're gone. But up until then, let's rock. We move everything up there, and there's
This
a
is
media.
what month? Do you remember? This is the winter of 2003. The record came out in August.
Winter into spring at Pablo's. We build this makeshift studio there. Crip comes through. We do the Rage Angels vocals there together. I'm writing for my man who got roofed at the time. Crip's writing about Papa Andy doing his stretch. Okay, we spoke about them on Papa Andy on the Outer Space episode. Papa Andy and my man got roofed around the same time. So we're both talking about our loved ones that, you know what I mean, got stretches, real stretches. Bad man time. Not, I got 18 months. No. We both got roofed. So we're recording there. I don't get it to where I'm recording at the time I want to, but because of Pablo and Chrissy's generosity, I got to something a bit more normal. Like, yo, we'll come over, maybe bring some pizza, we'll all eat together, and then we'll record. You know what I mean? So I'm recording maybe 7, 8, 9. I'm getting Stoop to budge to go, yo, Chrissy's with child, but like when you're with child, your hormones are crazy. She's staying up a little bit late. Like, let's say 10 or 11, she wants us out of here. You know what I mean? So that was a happy medium for me. And then we get hit with, yo, we're going to have to dump all of these ADAT tapes into Pro Tools, which is now the industry standard, which is at Chung King in New York.
Oh, you didn't have a Pro Tools program?
No. So I go, all right, we're booking out massive amounts of time at Chung King with Chris Conway. Stoop, you go early and do this with Chris during the day. I'll come meet you when you hit me and tell me we're done that part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he gets up there and is doing that with Chris during the day. When I get there, I sniff this out and I'm like, oh, this Chris is a fucking night out too. Now, money's money. So you're taking the jobs that you take. We all know that. We have to pay and provide. He had a kid on the way who is now grown.
Right.
You know what I mean? As Pablo's wife was with child, so was Chris. So he's working like 20-hour days because he was doing a Beat Nuts record too at the same time. And around the same time, Nonfiction was working on The Future Is Now, all with Chris simultaneously. So I get up there. Whatever our session was booked for, we were just booking out massive blocks of time. I wake up in the middle of the day and get there. I want to suss out the situation at Chung King.
Where are you staying when you go up there? Like, are you renting a hotel room?
A hotel that's mega nice. Because I am, at this point, a decade in terms of doing this. I don't want to call it professionally because we were making demos, but really, like, this is what I want to do for my life.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to use the word started rhyming because I started writing raps when I was 9. So I don't want to count that.
Right. But trying and then getting compensation for making music, we'll call it.
If we're considering that, it's like the 7th year. If we're considering I was making demos and said I want to do this with my life, I started that at like 15 and now I'm 25.
Gotcha.
So I go, I understand that all of this, meaning the hotels, Chung King, that I was paying for, even though I was young. The young artists tell you, I didn't know I was paying for that. I don't believe that. Or you're real fucking dumb. I don't know why my camera went blurry, but maybe I moved. Is it back to not being blurry?
Yeah, you're good.
So there are, when you're being, because all that stuff goes against, that's billed to you.
Right.
The label doesn't pay for that. They pay for that. And then it comes out of your, you know what I mean? And then when you make that back, everyone starts making money and it's supposed to be paid accordingly. Right, Billy? Supposed to be.
That's right. That's how it works.
Labels jerk people, Brandon, as you know, industry rule number 4080.
Record company.
Nice hotel. Shady. Yeah, I forget if we was in Midtown, whatever, and getting a car service or something. You know what I mean? I forget how.
Right, I got you.
I remember someone got someone's code. Remember there were codes to car services, guys, like back then? Mm-hmm. Someone got the car services code and was doing like weed runs to Branson. Big. Going uptown on the car service. It was thousands of dollars
on the label's car service.
Branson was a weed spot in Harlem, Billy, and like certain people rapped about it. More up to even it's further uptown, and people go to Branson for their weed, Bill. Because remember when we were young, it was not good.
Right.
We didn't get good weed out here. You know what I mean? No. He had good weed, Branson. So someone was going back and forth to Branson like every day, Billy, in a nice car service, like a Lincoln Town car. It was like $12,000. I'm saying somebody. I'll tell you guys. I'll text it to you. On who was doing it. So
I'll tell you guys off air funny stories about car services, but I don't want to say it on air because it is, I could incriminate people still.
So these guys dump all the stuff from tape to digital, and now it's in Pro Tools, which everyone knows now listening. And Billy, you know what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? It's on a computer screen and the tracks are all up there. So now that's all there. And there's some relief with that. It took a lot of time, which costed us a lot of hours, especially at a place like Chung King then,
Mm-hmm.
Now everyone has home studios, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and saves money.
It's amazing. Those programs became affordable shortly after that. You could have it.
Oh, right.
Like Final Cut Pro.
Within a couple years of this, that's why when I said what was industry standard, well, I respect that the Ricky Martin thing was 99, but like not every human had it in 99. It took time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe around that time, all massive major studios did, you know what I mean? But not at home. People were still, so I started, the nicest hotels. I started being like, Chris, let's work at night. Stoop would go in before me, and we would overlap. Meaning, if he went in at 4 or 2, 3, 4, and would leave at 7 or 8, I'd come in at 6 or 7 and over. You know what I'm saying? Overlap. And that got to the point where it was great because I had a say in mixes. You know? I remember hearing Monch had just recorded, "Please, Lord, forgive me for my sins. My life is all I have to live." And Chris played it on the monitors at Chung King, and it shook my body. It was unreal hearing that Agent Orange song in there before the world had heard it. And Traj. So now we're in New York, so people start coming through because we're in the Mecca.
I was gonna say, can we read off the features that you have on this?
Well, so Razkaz was on the run, okay, before he got locked up. He happened to be in New York on the run.
Wow.
So, yo, come through. I got a bag for you, however long this lasts. You being on the run, or if you turn yourself, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what your choice is. It's your choice, but that's my guy. And then some of that early footage, he got booked soon after that because you see me in the free Razkaz shirt around in that, you know what I mean? So it wasn't long. But he was on the run when he did the Rise of the Machine shit. He rhymed over the loop that I gave Stoop from that group Evanescence, right? I'm like, yo, this group's big. We got to clear this. And the girl's like, I don't like that guy. About me.
Well, they're like Jesus, right? Aren't they very religious?
I think so.
Yeah.
Right? So pack her up. Her and the other girl are the only two people to do that to me. I'm going to say her name wrong. You two will know this because your wives probably dig her. Sarah Bareilles. What's
I know she is.
That
Aurora Borealis.
I wrote a song for my stepfather, right? Called Same Story. And she wouldn't clear it. And I had to remix it because she wouldn't clear it. And it's one of the best things I ever did. I'm still proud of the mix that came out. But the original's floating out there, you know?
Right.
She wouldn't clear it. Same reason. Like, nah, I don't like that guy. And I'm like, yo, you don't even know me.
Who doesn't like this guy?
If you don't like me and you know me, then fair enough. But that Evanescence girl, pack her up.
Yeah, the group sucks anyway.
So Razkaz rhymed on the original. That's the original. There was a white label with the Evanescence loop. You know what I mean?
Did he have to re-record his vocals, or were you guys able to take it?
Because we just flew in the remix. Now with this Pro Tools thing, we're going, are the vocals locked in on the Pro? You know what I mean? And Stoops, the illest remixer of all time. He's up there with Premier and Pete Rock as far as being able to remix something and make it not sound like a remix.
Right.
Where there's songs to our catalog. Forget this album. Our catalog, I could tell y'all, yo, that wasn't the real version.
That's the remix.
Trinity with me, Louis Logic, and L Fudge, the final version that's on Violent by Design isn't the shit we rapped on.
Wow.
Nature's
you said
record.
When we talked about the Violent by Design episode, you said that you would rap over a primitive beat and then he would lay
skeletons, sometimes a lot of drums. But no, that beat was 90% done. The Nature record came out, and I went to Stoops with the Nature record. I'm like, yo, they freaked that loop we have on Trinity. Do you like what we did better? Or did they freak it illa? He's like, we did it better, but I don't want them to think I took that loop. Even at the time where it was like, rap is an art, you can't own no loops. It's how you hook them up in a rhyme style troop. He was like, no. I was like, it's still ill. He was like, no, they're going to think I was a beat biter. No.
Right.
And I was like, just make it ill. And he remixed it, and I was like, that's better.
Right. So now on this record, you have Cannabis.
Yeah.
Did he come through to Chung King?
No, because he had signed up for the military and was like, here's a verse.
Okay.
Here's a verse for your album, and then here's the vocals for the album that Stoop's going to produce. Peace.
Now, so what would you get? You would get a DAT from him?
I forget how the vocal. They might have been a Pro Tools session.
It
might have been a Pro Tools session
that they had on a timeline.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So So you have on. So did Crypt and Plan came up to Chung King to record with you, or they laid the vocals in
Me and Crip did the vocals for Rage of Angels at Pablo's
at
crib.
Pablo's house? Okay.
Yeah. Pablo, Crip, and Planet were coming. I was staying in New York, me and Stu, for a long time. Those guys were coming up a lot.
Right.
And I'd come back, like, you know what I mean? Check on
Yeah.
my mom, my step pop, you know what I mean? On some check-in shit. You know, clear my brain, because I was wilding up there, bro. I was going to the apartment. I was leaving Chung King and going to the apartment.
Right.
Because Premiere would spin, Stretch Armstrong would spin. That's where I met homeboy that directed the Ice Storm.
Okay.
Ang Lee. Chloe Sevigny and what's her name are walking around there. Rosario Dawson. The first night I was there, I'm talking to Ang Lee about the Ice Storm. I just went up to him like, Mr. Lee, I don't want to bother you. I just want to tell you the Ice Storm's like, and he's telling me it's loud as shit in there. Premiere's spinning, incredible set. And he's telling me, I kind of can't hear him. And I think he's telling me he's going to do the Hulk. And I'm like, why would fucking Ang Lee be doing the Hulk? I must be whacked out of my head, which I was. You know what I'm saying? I was a kid, like let loose in New York. You know what I mean? With pocket money. I'm going, why? Okay, English is his second language. So I'm like, there's probably some shit called the Hulk that's like some indie shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it was the Eric Bana one.
Yeah. So I go, he's very welcome.
Which one did he do? The Mark Ruffalo one or the Eric?
I think it was the Eric Bana, because I took the boys, my nephews, who were little at the time. Little. So I go, I'm what do you call it, B? We say some people don't know how to read the room. I'm reading the room, so I'm ready to, I'm ready to dip on a gentleman. You know? Yeah. And he's being like receptive.
It's the Eric Bana one.
So I take it to the next step of, sir, I'd be honored if you let me buy you a drink, you know? I'll be on my way, but, like, would you like to do a shot or something? So he goes, yes, and he calls the bartender over, and he says something, but he's aimed at the bartender. So I know that he's talking, but I don't know what he's saying. What's that stuff that's like $2,000 a shot? Louis the what?
Yeah, Louis the 14th or whatever.
Yeah, 15th, something like that.
So I see that bottle come down from this weird place that I don't see any other bottles at. And I'm like, no, sir, abort. I don't, for a variety of reasons, I don't want this poor guy buying me a $2,000 shot just because I bigged him up. That's not what I was looking for. I just wanted to let him know his art had an effect on me. And whatever that isn't my drink of choice at the time. You know what I mean? I was drinking at the time. So,
what were you drinking at the time?
Grey Goose. I was doing shots and then had like a pineapple and Grey Goose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The goose was loose.
It was. Back then it was in my 20s, definitely. Yeah, I was a menace. And all these people are there, and I'm like, this is like, it's weird to be in the place that I grew up reading about. When I read about the downtown scene, and the art scene down there, and Fab Five, Freddie, and Blondie, and the crossover, and Same Old. And this is the next generation of that. This is all the 90s, this is all the people, the next generation of that. And they're all there. Now all these people that are viewed as that. Darren Aronofsky. At one point we were going to record some of our record with him, because he had an audio set up because of doing Pi. He like took that money and made like a little studio. I don't think I've ever said that on air or in an interview.
That's amazing.
Yeah. There was some connect there, and I wanted to follow through with that. And then I was like, oh, Chris Conway? Well, he did some of the records I love. So let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't know who was going to mix it if we recorded with Aronofsky. But I was like, I don't know. Are we getting it on the muscle? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are we going to do this? So we did, Planet did his vocals for Storm of Swords in New York.
Okay.
Then Nonfiction comes through.
Yeah.
The song's called The Wolf, right?
Mm-hmm.
Too many people.
Mm.
I was like, what do you mean? That's the group, idiot. Too many people. I was like, I don't know what that means, bro. It's 3 of them, 1 of me. That's 4
It's a
people.
posse cut.
It's a posse cut. Too many people. And I was like, bro, how do you want me to solve this? So he makes the beat for Kubla Khan at Chung King, takes Gore's verse from The Wolf, builds the new beat around that, and then I go, all right, I'll put Traj on this drum when he slides through.
And Traj came through?
Yeah. So
did you know Traj before that, or was
yeah,
it
because
like
he's on Violent by Design.
Right,
We went to Queens. We went to Queens to this Mexican John's house with our equipment, and Killer Shot and Traj came through there.
Wow.
In 99 or early 2000.
Okay.
So I was like, yo, we're in a real spot now with a budget. Just come through. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to get bags for everybody.
Right.
Because just like staying at the nice hotel and going to the
and
apartment.
That's Kubla Khan, and you also have Percy P on this record.
Yeah, because Purse and I had been friends. We met at Rocksteady anniversary on the pier. And when I saw Purse, I just went up to him and I was like sulfuric acid, I'm lethal. As soon as my word, because he was on the Yes You May remix. I mean, the Yes You May record with Lord Finesse, and got dopest rhyme of the month in The Source when it mattered. And that's one of the greatest rhymes ever written. Unfortunately, we can't play it because we'll get
right.
So I was like, yo, he's like, yo, I'm doing a whole record with Madlib, with Peanut Butter Wolf.
Peanut Butter Wolf, right.
And Stone's Throw. And I was like, oh, those guys are incredible.
Yeah, shout out to Peanut Butter Wolf.
Yeah, my guy, Chris, what up? Shout out Madlib, the Mad Genius. Shout out Ono. So he was like, yo, I want you on my drum. I was like, all right, when I get back to Philly, send me stuff. So he had Madlib send me something. So I did something for his record. But Purse came through too. He had moved to LA. Purse is in LA now. He was still in New York. He was still in the Bronx.
Right.
He might have still been in Patterson Projects at this point. But he lives in LA now. Shout out Percy P, the rhyme inspector. So these are like, bro, that rhyme was mad. That his rhyme, Percy P got to deal with Big Beat, right? And T-Ray did the 12-inch, pause. It was on Big Beat. That 12-inch on Big Beat, pause, and his verse on the Lord Finesse shit was mad inspirational to me as far as rhyme style. Like, very inspirational to me. And he was rhyming on another level. You know, it's really unfortunate that our hands are tied to not be able to drop these gems for our listeners, you know, even to play.
We can point them in the right direction. And
that's what I'm trying to do. You know, go listen to Percy's verse and remember when you're listening to it, when it's from. It dropped in 92, recorded in 91. That rhyme style is 30 years ahead of its time. If we were all on the street and there was a cipher and someone spit that rhyme today, you go, that guy's incredible. So
timeless.
A lot of this was a lot of this stuff was me paying homage. Like when you have someone like Traj and Percy, they are inspirations that I wanted to reach back to and make sure this next wave of kids knew who they were. Then other people were my peers. You know what I'm saying? Like Nonfiction, Crip and Plan, Cannabis. I'm not saying I was as good as Cannabis. I'm saying like he's not much older than us. You know what I mean? He was still, you know, it's not like the era before us or anything. He's our era. You know what I mean? He's a couple of years older than us, but he's our era. G-Rap, that's my favorite rapper of all time. So to have that,
How did that feel?
Yeah. I was going to get to that.
That's like,
Beat you to it.
Samana Beach.
there's not. Well, one thing with him, with G-Rap is with this one, he was there. Shout out Super Nat. Super Nat was recording his record around this time too, and this is when me and Nat got close. The first time around, G-Rap came through during the day, and I was sleeping at the hotel. We got cool later. You know what I'm saying? Where we were talking,
Yeah.
like this was hooked up by like business people.
Mm.
I didn't know G-Rap in 02. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? Like
Yeah,
now
yeah.
it's like text or email. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't know him at this time. So it was very, this particular instance was very transactional.
Gotcha.
You know, if I'm looking at everyone, if I'm going down who's on here, I was on the Cannabis, Stupid did a beat, and I was on the song for the Cannabis record that dropped before the one that Stu produced. I think it might have
Okay.
been called Mic Club or something.
All
So
right.
we was already cool. Like I'm looking
you
at
guys.
this.
Yeah, you guys had already recorded together.
Yeah, G-Rap was the person on this album that I was like, A, this is a holy grail for me. B, this is my favorite rapper of all time. C, it's like still an era where there was still some people you viewed as famous.
Right.
You know, this is like godlike shit to me. All these other people I had become acquainted with, or they were our era. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it wasn't amazing to work with them or they weren't big names, because they were and they are.
No, there's something to be said when you're a child and you're looking up to someone to now as becoming a young adult.
I was rapping into the fake microphone in front of the mirror to G-Rap. You know what I'm saying? These other guys, I was like, oh, he's incredible, but I was rhyming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And now it's got to be a surreal experience where, as a little kid, you're saying, I wonder if one day I could rap like this guy, and now you're rapping with this guy.
Right. So Super Nat was in the session with his. Remember when Nat's son was little? He'd always have him with him rhyming.
Yes.
So it's that era. His son was a little kid. And G-Rap calls his son over and is like, how was your report card grades? Like, did you get your first report card? Yeah. You know what I mean? And he was like, school was like about to start. So he's like, no, I'm not in yet. He's like, what about the last one? Meaning, you know, when you got out of school.
Yeah.
He's like, I got straight A's. And he looks at Nat and Nat nodded his head to say like, yeah. And he pulled out like 5 fresh 100s.
G-Rap did.
Yeah, and gave them to Nat's son and was like, it'll be double next time I see you if you keep up the good grades.
I like it.
Yeah. So then we just started working.
I have to pay him if I showed him my report card.
Yeah, of course. I got to give him a stack. So that opened the doors because it went so smooth. When I was able to talk to G-Rap outside of the connection of manager on manager.
Right.
Or label on label. You know what I'm saying? Because the rock was still locked in.
You're now peers. You went from, you went from someone who it's a privilege to work with you. Of course, it is a privilege, but now
a bunch of joints since then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A bunch. So
right. We can talk turkey now.
Yes. Let's talk. Right. Oh, do you want me to do a verse for you? You want to do? We had a joint that the Alchemist produced, and it's me and G-Rap. Somehow people got a hold of those vocals.
Okay.
And they went the way, you know how that goes.
Yeah. Once it's out, it's out.
But the original shit was me and G-Rap over Alchemist.
Oh.
Yeah. I spoke to Al about it the last time I saw him. And he had my view, like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
He's like, what happened? And I was like, bro, someone
took it.
Yeah.
Put it out.
Basically. You know what I mean? And then someone put it up and I had to get it taken down because, you know what I mean? Him and I.
Yeah.
All of that type of mess. So, so I redid the Animal Rap vocals after this guy completely fucking annihilated it. And I'm like, I don't forget, bro, he's my favorite rapper. And I'm going, like, yo, I'm 25 years old. Like, can I even hang with this dude? Forget do better than him. You're not going to do better than G-Rap. You don't get it on a song with those level of guys and kill them. You don't kill G-Rap. You don't kill Black Thought on a song. You get killed. You hope you held your own.
Gotcha.
So I did the best I could.
Sounds
You know what I
great.
mean? But I was reinvigorated. And I remember it was the first vocal I did up there with Chris, and everything sounded wrong to me because I had never recorded with anyone but Stoop. So whatever I considered to be right wasn't the setup. So I'm going, yo, this doesn't sound the way it does. And he's like, bro, the last person in there was Pharaoh. And I was like, well, maybe he likes it weird. He was like, the beat nuts were in before that. He starts naming people who are legends. And then I remember Sabak stopped by, but it wasn't put to do with the Wolf. He had just stopped. He was just in the city. He just stopped by to say hello.
Just to say hello.
And was like, yo, you're about to head out on tour. Like, how many tours have you done? I'm like, bro, we always were doing one-offs. Like, you know what I mean? That 90s go get a bag and come back shit. You know what I mean? This is our first, like, da-da-da. And he gave me all these tips,
pointers.
Like, make sure you have this, make sure you have that. You know what I mean? Don't forget this, which is, I still keep that shit with me. This about, shout out Sabak Red for you know, doing that or thinking of me, like to even tell me things that I wouldn't have thought of. You know what I mean? I still have that tour checklist. That I wrote it down, and then I took it home, and then I typed it, and then I mailed it to myself, and that still I started adding to it on the years when I would forget to, but the core of what he told me was there. But yo, I didn't know what to do. It didn't sound the way I wanted it to sound, so I can't perform. And there was a fucking Mexican standoff. He's like, bro, bro, below us, fucking Tool is recording.
Yeah.
The room, they're below us. The room next to us was Fabulous. So I'm the one bugging, but I'm not bugging to me.
Right.
I'm like, bro, there's something going on in here. I don't know if it's
was part of this, you think, nerves maybe?
I don't know, but the air conditioner broke in Scott's room. Like two trips ago, Billy, you stopped by when Eamon was here. Like it might have been 3 or 4 trips ago. It might have been pre-COVID. I can't remember because everything.
Yeah.
We went into the main room, B. The main room is where you record like live bands and stuff.
Okay.
Right?
You're talking about at Scott's or
at
in
Scott's?
Chung King? Okay. At
Scott's. Sorry. I jumped. I went in that room and the same thing happened to me. And I refused to do vocals.
Right. You're out of your element.
And he's like,
I don't know what to Donnie.
I don't know what to I don't know what to tell you. This is Scott, not just Chris Conway in 03 is going, I don't know what to tell you. Then go 15 years later and Scott's going, bro, I don't know what to tell you, bro. They were just doing the da-da-da record in here, like some big band. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, are we having another Mexican standoff? So I was like, hey, can you do the vocals in here? And he walks in and puts the headphones on and goes, you're a fucking retard. And sings his ass off. He did the vocals with Blood Bank Affair, all these hooks. And I go, I don't know what to tell you. It's more important to get your vocals while you're in town, so fuck it. But I'm not recording.
It was just, so you think it's your level of comfortability can change your entire...
No, something's going on with their playback, and they're not telling me what it is.
Oh, so okay. But everyone else is fine with it.
Yeah, because they probably have a view of I've recorded in 30 different places.
They can adapt.
Adaptability or the willingness to.
You have neither.
How can I sound good on the recording when I don't sound good back to me?
I'm not arguing with you because it's, to you, it's not right.
You got to trust the engineer, probably. And that's what those guys do. Just like you got to trust us.
I mean, I don't trust the fucking two of you as far as I can throw you. So,
unbelievable.
There's a huge part that I think about the amount of wilding I was doing in New York as this was getting done and thinking, man, I wonder if it would have crossed the goal line if we didn't do a bunch of work in Philly before we got here. If we just showed up in New York with our bags, would I have screwed the pooch?
I have a feeling you would have gotten it done.
If I had 19 songs to do. And what would I have done when I started doing vocals there and I didn't like the playback? So they got me so mad that's my take is just me being mad. It's not a take of what Stoop was telling me back in Philly of, yo, this is your favorite rapper of all time. You're being sort of, he didn't use the word lazy. We never use that word with each other.
Unenthused?
Because, yo, there needs to be, there's unenthusiastic, be more enthusiastic. Remember who you're rhyming with. He's both one of our, and he's one of Stoop's favorites too.
Right.
He's my actual favorite, but he's one of Stoop's all-time favorites and always was from when we met. So the anger of being like, this doesn't sound right to me. I mean, the mic booth at Chung King is a huge room. I was like, why is this room so big? It's like it was big as the control room.
Right. Did you eventually get used to it?
No. I was like, this is the pits. So I would go out and I was like, y'all got to tell me, man, if I'm not,
Right.
like, I'm a wreck catcher, man. Like, I'm not used to questioning myself.
Right.
I mean, I question myself. I hate myself, but I know if something's a good take or not. And I'm coming out like, yo, I don't know if that's it. And I basically had to go by Planet, Crip, Pablo, Stoop, Chris Conway, Chuck Wilson, who ran Baby Grand, would be there from time to time. So you're going like, you're just trusting these people that no, bro, I promise. And I'm going, bro, you can't appease me. This isn't the time for that.
Right.
And Stoop would say things, or maybe Planet or Crip or Pablo, where they know me back at home. Like, no, bro, it's like, it sounds like you back at home. It's just illa because we're in a real studio this time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you
And
had to
could
just
could
fight
that
through
have been it? That I was in a fucking you know what I mean?
Yes.
You guys, you walk into, you get on on a elevator and come out, and it's marble floors, and you go to the receptionist, and then you walk down this hallway that you're knocking over gold and platinum records that were done at Chung King, and it's my heroes. I'm knocking over Def Jam records.
Right. Well, you're going from like a Hyundai to now a Mercedes. You know, this thing don't drive right.
Yes.
It's not what you're used to.
And I've driven, if I drive something brand new, a 2027 or something, I'm like, this don't feel like the Acura. I don't like this. And they're like, right, it's a
Brand new car.
it's a $200,000 car that you're saying doesn't drive right. I'm like,
Right.
it's not like the Acura. So is that what it's like? And I'm just
Yeah.
like that as a person?
Yes.
Then
That's what we're trying
it
to tell
is.
you.
Right.
But I can't imagine being like, I don't like this playback, and I'm the only one that thinks that in the world. So what is it that's happening?
You're a happy analog Winnie the Paz. Give me that. Fuck this digital.
You were,
modern
I'm
you
shit.
not
were
on
taken
that.
out of your routine and your
element.
comfortability, your element, all
But
that
there
stuff.
was never, we talk about in terms of life, whether you're a boxer or whatever, baby steps. You don't have a couple fights and then fight for the belt. You win a bunch of fights first, then they put you in with a guy that used to be good. Then you would
if you were a baseball player, you wouldn't wear batting gloves. You're that kind of guy.
No. But we went from broken equipment and using broken equipment to internationally released albums. Was Violent by Design was a global phenomenon. It was all done on broken equipment. To being in Chung King. I didn't go, oh, now I'm in a shitty studio.
Right.
This one's a little bit nicer.
Right. You
or
didn't
this
work
one-
your way up to it.
I would be at places. I was up at Rough House.
Yeah.
I was up at Rough House. Oh, this place is dope because Nicolo Brothers. That board was crazy. That board is still there. The Muggs mixed all this stuff. It's still there because I was there with Will Yip. Shout out Will Yip on the Grammy Award. But I was with Will Yip recently, and he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna take you to show the board that Muggs did his thing on." I took pictures of it and just sent it to Muggs with no context. What? Wait, are you there now?
That's dope.
Yo, yeah, it was really dope. It was dope for him too because he hasn't been there in forever.
Can I ask you where the album cover and how you came up with that, or what made you pick that?
I had the idea of someone making Salah, but in the city somewhere. But that's all I had.
Right.
Then Billy's cousin McGruff and my man Bellaccio were like, well, we got you. And Mike, Billy's cousin, is with photography like I am with rap. He always wanted to do it. So I already thought Mike was dope by then. He was already doing my pictures.
Mm.
Like if you saw pictures of us in those days, it was Mike. That's Billy's cousin, McGruff. Not McGruff from Harlem, McGruff from Philly, right? So
Not the crime dog.
right. So they went out,
Not Herb McGruff.
correct. They went out and shot mad stuff. They were living in West Philly and University City at the time. So after they did that, I was going over there all the time, almost every night of the week, drinking 40s, watching VHS tapes of boxing, whatever, because it was the house to chill. You know what I mean? It was
Mm-hmm.
my friends all lived in a huge crib in West Philly at this time. So they pulled everything up on the computer. And I was like, these pics are incredible. Like all of them.
Right.
So then it was just like, pick that one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they knocked it out the park.
So they
Just-
showed you a bunch of different pictures, and then ultimately you said, I like this one the best. This
Yeah.
is the one I want.
Yeah,
Now,
I think
for that process, do you run that by Stoop and say, look, this is what we're doing,
What-
or does he not care?
I never want to say he doesn't care because he cares.
Not care,
there's-
but
No, some people don't care.
Yeah,
They go, no, he's like, I trust your vision for it to be
that's
dope.
more
So
what I meant. Yeah.
it is, he did care, meaning I would never put something where he didn't believe in it or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
And now the title Visions of Gandhi, you had that before?
yeah, because I remember when Foxy said they praise Allah with Visions of Gandhi.
Okay.
Remember, I think it was affirmative action.
It was written affirmative action.
Yeah. It was one of the firm joints. And I was like, that's like an ill,
It's affirmative action.
okay. That's
Where she
an
does the
ill,
bad math at the end.
yeah. Yeah. I think AZ wrote that rhyme. It wasn't Jay. I think AZ wrote
The whole, yeah.
that one, you know?
So
And I was like, that Visions of Gandhi, there's something there. There's
right.
something there.
And then the album comes out. So you started to record in the winter in Philly. Now the months you were in New York do you remember the months that we just
I
talked
think
about?
we started, man, at least Rough Ideas in 02.
Okay.
There was stuff.
Well, because
production
Animal
wise,
Rap was recorded in 02, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And you knew that that was going to go on your next record?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
I think so.
that's not a bad foundation. That's not a
Well-
bad building block G-Rap.
Right.
rest
And
of the
B,
record.
this is the days. Look, I forgot a huge part of this. This is the day, and it's no surprising you guys did. You just reminded me. It was a full year before because that's how you would push records back then. Drop a
Right.
single a year out, then
Right.
a second one, then a third one, then a
Mhm.
fourth, then the LP.
Mm.
Because we had a record release party for Animal Rap in Philly.
Oh, okay. Just for
At
that one
what's-
song.
Yes, at what's it called, Billy? What's the diner? On Spring Garden. The
The
huge
Oregon
Philly
Diner?
diner. You know it, Billy.
The
You know it,
Oregon?
Brendan. Silk City.
Silk City.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Silk City.
Turns into a nightclub at night.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys
We
got
had
a
the
lot
record-
of those like convertible places.
We
This
had
is-
the
this-
record.
During the day, and then it turns into the bar you guys have referenced on here.
And I remember my brother Lenny came and he was like, that's the first time I knew you were like the real deal. I didn't understand. I thought like, I didn't understand that.
Because
Until
you
that
did a
show.
song with G-Rap.
No,
Oh.
the record release party.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
I think on an earlier episode, but it might have been Knock 'Em Out the Box. Do you remember me telling this person's famous to you, Billy? The friend we have for a year, I'm talking my solo albums were out. He would tell people that I was like a famous karaoke rapper. He thought I went to places and
and
rapped
faked it?
and no, like did like Biggie songs.
That's what I'm saying. You just like Milli
Well,
Vanilli.
that's not faking it. He thought I went to
Oh,
places.
he thought you actually sang them.
Yes. Like I set up
No,
karaoke.
Yes.
not that he
equipment.
was the artist. No, that he was doing karaoke.
Yeah, no, I got it, but it was actually his voice. I was more equating. I got karaoke and lip syncing.
No, you
mixed
know,
up.
if you go to like a greaseball place and there's the bad singer,
Yeah.
like singing and you can't hold a note. Me and my mother just went to a place that did that. This guy sounded like it was a dog getting stabbed. Oh, I'm trying to
Our
eat
local
my monocle.
supermarket here does it. We have an
Yeah, well,
Italian
that's-
market here, and the guy
that's
sings
crazy.
in there. I'll videotape it next time.
So
send it to
this
you.
guy, this
It's pretty
kid for
funny.
years went around when he was bragging about me to him in his brain, bragging about me. Like I went to places and set up equipment and did karaoke. But
Is this person actually half-head? Is that who this person is?
no, I bet you Halfhead has a higher IQ. There are people.
It's a callback to half-head from
There
earlier
are people that
episode.
you
Vinny's
would call.
friend from.
There's all those words that we're supposed to use now, right? Mentally challenged, right? Like there's a few other ones. Do you know the slur word for that?
It's Irish Billy. That's the slur word for it.
Billy. I'm telling you, the slur word for that, I'll bet you his IQ is lower than that. The what we're talking. Do you agree or disagree?
I'm still trying. I don't actually know who you're talking about.
Oh,
you gotta
yeah,
tell
you
me.
do. Yeah, you do.
I'm saying I haven't figured it out in the.
I never
story.
knew you could be this dumb and not be mentally challenged.
So Vin, from this record in terms of Violent by Design, the difference, this particular release date, which is the date that this show was going to come out.
Yeah.
Did they pick that date,
duh.
or did you say this is when I want it to come
I
out?
always wanted to drop in the fall. I still want to drop in the fall now. And it was put in front of me that we had finished In Time. We had turned it in time with vinyl production, CD production. At the time, people stopped doing cassettes. This will all be ready to go for you to hit the road in August or September. And I was like, well, I'm not going to be the difficult artist. Certainly not now.
So they gave you a target date?
I think the target date was sort of coordinated with our new booking agent.
Okay.
At the time, big shout out Mike Morey, who now, who went on to work with and still works with, who's the band I always tell you, B? You say, yeah, they're huge. They did 2 nights at the Garden. 19 something?
The 1974.
The 1974.
That's what they are? No.
Did I get it wrong?
Yeah, I think it's wrong.
It's the
Definitely.
1975s, isn't it?
I just remember the last time I brought them up to you. Said, that's
it
your
is
man's group? They just did 2
19
nights at the Garden.
The 1975. Yeah, that's the name.
The 1974. That's great.
They're,
What was did we get the drink wrong too? We're like, the Louis
Yeah,
it's Louis something. I know that. Shout out to 1975. Those great dudes. Shout out to Mike Morey.
Louis the 13th.
Mike Morey basically created the monster that was our touring machine. And I wouldn't be where I'm at today without him and those tours. He's gone on to massive things. His group is a Grammy winner and did 2 nights at the Garden. That's what famous people do. Those dudes like date models and shit. They're legit rock stars.
They're rock stars, yeah.
I'm just not hip because
me neither.
It's not my
I
way.
couldn't if their music came on, I wouldn't be able to.
Me
tell you.
neither. That's not a diss.
That's my
not a
ignorance.
diss. That's my ignorance. That's not a diss. Yeah. So big. I think that's how sort of it was like, well, we get them out, because you want to start hitting the road when people start going back to school, especially in college towns. So we're looking at the map of the US and saying, okay, if you're doing, let's just say 40 dates, right? It was massively long tours then. Well, 25 of these are in college towns. Like let's hit it. Let's hit the ground running. The record drops. You can do in stores. You could do signings, and they'll have the record. What was the place on the island I told you I did the in store? B? And you're like, oh
Chop
yeah,
Shop.
yeah, that
Smithtown.
That's when we were there because we did.
That's pretty far out
SOBs.
too.
I remember I felt like, wow, I had to come from the city,
Yeah, and go all the way
there
out
to
there.
back to go do
Yeah.
SOBs.
Right.
How was everything at the end of the day from your perspective? How was it received? How did you feel about it at the time?
There was, Vinny sucks. They're trying to sell out. This is a sellout record. What they were, because people that are flavorless and vanilla, real cracker shit, they tend to dislike anything you could possibly bounce to.
Right.
And there was some bouncy shit on it, but it was hard as nails, if you know Stoop and his production.
Right.
But
The Cop Shop, not the Chop Shop, the Cop Shop. Sorry.
the shit with Percy P, the beat was mad bouncy. Blood In, Blood Out was bouncy. People lose their skulls and start skinning each other at live shows to that. And this is the same song they were
Seen it
telling me,
happen.
you're a sellout. The same way they said Violent by Design, we hate it. We were always hated by the press. I'm still hated by the press. Places like Pitchfork hated me then, hated me now, bad reviews, and then the shit does what Brendan said it did. Billboard charting. We were charting when it was impossible to. We were an indie group with no videos. No one would play our shit. No radio, no videos, no TV, none of that. And we were just making shit we liked and thought was fly. So there was no conscious effort to do anything other than make the shit we like. If he dug deeper into Spanish records this time around than the last time around, then that's what he did. He's dope. He's always been dope. He always will be dope. So to think that we tried to make something more easily digested is just fucking flat out wrong. Because how the fuck do you do animal rap that has cuts as the chorus?
Mhm.
The Wolf with nonfiction where there's not even a hook and it's one of the hardest beats ever. What are you thinking? Because some shit is catchy, so catchy shit's not dope. What's really good with Rocky Reyes? That shit's not dope. Like, what are you, stupid? Rocky went nuts on there. That beat's crazy. You don't have to like me. That shit is crazy.
Right.
Rocky did that catchy hook, and Stoop was like, yo, that hook's like, you don't be doing shit like that. I'm like, I know. Scared this guy's really good, because Stoop didn't know Rock when I brought him around. But Rocky and Mike Storm and Mike Knox, the dude who be with Danny Garcia, the rapper to be with Danny Garcia, those dudes were like flying back and forth, baby signing. Dre was interested in that. Wow. So he brought that into the, you know what I'm saying? That ideology of songwriting was, I was like, nah, I don't do hooks like that, bro. My shit is all nails. All of it. Hard rock shit. He came with the what's really good. Because I got it on lock. And he wanted to layer it. And when Stoop was like, yeah. And then do this. And I'm like, y'all do y'all thing, man. Like, because I hadn't found my voice there yet. You know?
Yeah.
I went on to find that voice as I was like, oh, I want to play with melody more, but still make it hard, because I saw people that I liked and thought their records were still hard pull it off like 50.
Yeah.
You know? Like, oh, wow, you're making shit that's hard as me and you had that era of, and we would diss it as kids. We were like, oh, you're making records like Father MC. It's like singing, but then the beat is bubblegum too. And the drums are bubblegum. And
it's like Mexican cartel music in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like that. If you listen to the lyrics of that stuff, you're like, holy shit, it's like the blood of my enemies like runs in
No, I feel you, but the other stuff wasn't. If there was a Jay-Z attempt at a pop song, it usually would be bubblegummy.
Right.
The Nas and Genuine song is terrible. It's a bad song. It's an attempt to make a pop song that's a bad song.
Point, to your point, was you can make a hard rock record lyrically with sort of a softer tone to it.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I really saw that until Fifth.
Right. Okay.
On the mixtapes in 01, 02, before the record dropped. When they flooded the streets with the G Unit tapes. And I was like, wait, he's doing melody shit over RZA beats or melody beats over a Premier beat? And this shit is the hardest shit out? Oh, that's something to think about. You know? I still wasn't able to execute it. Then Rock did this hook, and I was like, oh, that's kind of like some shit G Unit would do.
Right.
Or 50. So that led to many other things. And then with the sampling of the girl from Evanescence, I was big, me and Stu were big on that. And I was like, well, what if we take the idea of sampling people being melodic into us being melodic? But I can't sing, so how are we going to figure that out? Later we did.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And then, of course, the interludes is something I wanted to make sure we kept doing because I always wanted Stoop to get these things to connect a record that showed how brilliant he was. And people still will get mad, like, why don't you rhyme on all of them? And I was like, there's different reasons. There's different reasons. Maybe,
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? But my reason really was I want him to eat, you know? But some people get mad at that. Like, you know, day one from Digging in the Crates, that loop and beat, Pete Rock used that 3 years before as an interlude.
Mm.
And CL doesn't
Okay.
rhyme on that. So it's like, I understood where you're like, we're so good. I'm gonna show you we're so ill that this would be, our interludes are better than your beats on your album that you rap over. That was my shit. That's how I viewed it. It was kind of a dig at people. Like, we're iller. You know what I mean? And Stoop was just like, whatever you want to do, bro. If you want,
Right.
like, he wasn't asking for that. He wasn't asking for his own song. Like I would ask for, oh, can I have a solo song without you producing? Like, we weren't doing shit like that. We were a group, you know, like us against the world shit. But I wanted to do that. So I would help with some of those samples too. You know, that's where we were always meeting in the middle. For that was finding those vocal samples that we became known for. Because in the earlier days, and I'm including this record, there's some stuff on there I'm never going to snitch on myself, but I wouldn't use those vocal samples today. Because I was thinking, well, this is an indie movie, right? And there was no streaming. That wasn't invented yet. I'm like, this is an indie movie that not a lot of people are going to see or hear about. So if I use a sample from that, we're good. Not little did I know later.
Right, yeah.
So I have to triple down now. Billy will tell you. Billy has to do my paperwork and say, where do you go? And then I show it to him. He goes, oh, well, no one's, where the fuck did you find this? And I go, well, that's why I'm me. You know, but there's these guys out here fucking using fucking Scarface in 2026. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Why are they using it in 2026? It's twofold. They're not ill like that. You know, they don't have the point of references to even find anything iller. And mixed with, they're not big enough to even get caught or for anyone to care about them.
Right.
So it's twofold. But the main one is, bro, if you're sampling Scarface and Bronx Tale in 2026, you're so far behind of what we are on that I don't even know what to tell you in the first place. We're not even we're not competition to each other because it's so. But yeah, the interludes were always sort of very important in telling the story of the album and how to get from one thing to the next. To me, like, let this lead into this. It's like setting up a punch with the jab. I looked at it as that, or there's no true throwaway punches.
Right.
When someone says that, me and you know what that means, but it's not a throw. It's called that, but it's not a throwaway. It's set up.
It's a decoy. It's something. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, it is the when your mother would put medicine in the applesauce.
Right.
Or you wrap up something for your dog to put it in some turkey to give your dog the pill. I was like, these might help us get into this, because I'm saying some wild shit on this next thing.
Right.
And this stuff, this record didn't help in terms of me dropping the F-bomb, and I don't mean fuck all the time. That didn't help when you said, how did this get received?
Right.
Yeah.
That didn't help at all. Because I was just loose with that word.
Sure.
and it wasn't no malice behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Do I sound normal to y'all or no?
Hey, you sound
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
All right, it's my own mic is blowing out. Pause.
We're having a.
So I'm talking through it when I think like my headphones are going dead because this
Good
mic
thing you
is
have
reading me.
experience.
My
you have
mic
experience
is
with this.
it's reading me as blowing out. Pause. So what I wanted to say though is that didn't help where people already viewed me that didn't like me. Meaning
Right.
I think it gave them an excuse to hate someone they didn't like me already, right? Because
Right.
it was like a white boy doing rugged shit. You
I see what
know?
you're saying. Yeah.
So it's like, who's out there doing that now? Okay. Vinny, nonfiction, and Necro. That's who's
Right.
really out there doing this. So they didn't like none of us. Now add fuel to that fire. I'm using what type of slur would you call that? A what slur? It's not a racial slur.
Derogatory slur.
Derogatory slur for, you know, a homosexual. And that was just a word we threw around, bro. I wasn't calling gay people that word. I've never called a gay person that, bro, ever. You know what I mean? I've never said
it was
the R
definitely
word
looked
to a
at-
mentally challenged
Right.
person.
Right.
Never.
Right.
I would never, bro. I'm not on that type time. I would never do that to a person like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Someone who is historically or culturally
Yeah, it's
oppressed.
punching down. It's not some. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
I would never like get into some shit out on the street with a guy that say if somebody said something to me and they were like a little bit flamboyant or something, or a little bit feminine tone to
Right.
how they spoke. I would never call them that word.
No, but when
I
you're
would never
young,
say-
it's a word that we all use in terms of emasculating someone or just saying it. You know, would kind of and also sometimes is half as a joke. But yes, it was definitely viewed differently 22 years ago and prior to that, and growing up in the 90s.
Yeah.
It was I mean, there's the Beastie Boys used it.
Yeah.
Everybody used,
Yeah, I mean, and they're the most, I don't mean this in a bad way, okay? Because it'll sound that way because it's used that way. But there's no one more politically correct or politically
now,
conscious
they've
now than the
apologized
Beastie
for
Boys.
it.
They felt awful. Mad, the first record was mad, not just that word, but mad misogynistic. And those dudes are
Sure.
like on the feminism train.
Right.
I mean, Ad Rock's married to the queen of Riot Girls and
Right.
Catherine Hannah. It's from, what's it called? Is it Pussy Riot?
Yeah, Pussy Riot. Yeah.
So yeah, my mic is still bugging, but you're not missing anything on my end, right?
No.
Cool.
We can hear you
Yeah, but people were definitely lining up. Bro, I'll be honest, man. Like there was a part of me at that time that was like, I might have been enjoying it on some fucked up level.
Right.
Well, it's the attention. It's the and it's.
I didn't enjoy. In retrospect, I was on tour in Arizona and I went out alone after the show. It was sold out in Arizona. We were staying in a haunted hotel. And I don't mean that ha ha ha. I mean it's haunted like people go there because it's haunted. I didn't create it in my mind. I was like, I ain't staying in this John. So I was like, I'm going out as late as I can go out to spend the least amount of time in here from bus call, you know what I mean? So I went to this bar alone. And there were two dudes to my left, like three. I was alone and they were like a few stools down. And they were like mid-20s dudes, look like maybe they were in college but played ball. If they would have told me, oh, we're on the football, the Arizona State, whatever team, I would have went, okay. You know what I mean? Like regular looking white boys. Nothing cultural about them. What I mean that I mean in a bad way. I mean, they didn't look like skaters. They didn't look like hip hop guys. They didn't look like like jocks. They didn't even know they could have been. They just were some white boys in Arizona, and I'm just playing whatever I'm playing on the jukebox, Van Morrison and old soul records and stuff, vibing. Because I don't want to be in that scary ass hotel room. And like 2 hours in, the show was ended early because it was either all ages or like 16 and up or 18, but
Right.
those rules will affect when you go on. So I think we were done at 11, and the haunted hotel, the venue, and this bar I was in were all feet of each other. So an hour or two in, the one dude is like, "Yo," over the music. He's like, "Yo, good set tonight." And I was like, "Huh?" He's like, "Good set." I was like, "Oh, hey man, thank you so much for coming out." And I was like, "What's your name?" He told me his name, introduced me to his friend, and I was like, "Oh, can I get these guys around the drinks?" Da, 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 da. And I went over 2 seats down, started to talk to him. We shot the shit, but pretty early on, he was like, "Yeah, I would never say this, but like I've had a few drinks, so I'm just gonna say it. It's like out of character for me." But he's like, "Yeah, I'm like really disappointed in how you say like you say, that word a lot, man." I was like, "Huh? Like, what word could that be?" He got
Right,
me
right.
mixed up for a white boy that says the N word. That's what originally
Right.
hit me. You know what I mean? I don't say that word. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those dudes where you're like, "Oh, even in 1993, you said the N word on that demo when you thought it was cool." You know what I mean? Like I think
Yeah.
like it, there's stories of that. You know what I mean? Because people were just saying that word then. You know what I'm saying? There's stories of that. But I knew that couldn't be what he meant. So I was a bit, you know what I mean? He was like, and he said, "I know that you get flagged if you say that word. That's why I'm not saying it. If our listeners are like, well, just say it, you can get flagged,
Sure.
and we don't need that." But he said the F word for, a gay guy. He's like, "Yeah, it's just like, it's mad disappointing, man. Like I'm gay, and like, it's just, uh, it's like upsetting to hear that, man, because it's like hard enough for me, no pun intended. Um, you know, it's Billy's trying to no sell that? Really? Did he mute his mic? No sell,
No,
no pun intended. Yeah, it's difficult out here for me. It's like it's better than it was, but like as a high schooler, like
Yeah.
it's just tough out here, man. You know what I mean? I'm just like a regular guy. I'm no different than you. I'm like, well, I don't think you are, bro. You know what I mean? I didn't realize it. And then it's like, I'm like, how many people think this way?
Mhm.
Right.
And how many people am I? Two things. How many people am I hurting with that word? And how many people use that to define me as a person?
Mm.
You know? And I went on saying it for a while because it like it hit me in the moment then. You know what I mean? And I was
Sure.
upset. But I went back to tour, and touring's a fucking mess, and you can't keep your mind straight no matter what. And it took a bit. And at one point it hit me again. I was like, I'm not. It took a while though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I remember that vividly. I mean, to remember where I was means I remember it vividly. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I don't think you
That
ever told me that story.
that dude's out there. Shout out, man. I realized I used it way longer than you wanted me to. Pause. But the convo meant a lot, and it's a catalyst to why I eventually changed. I mean, my friends that are really really liberal never said anything to me because they knew how I meant nothing by it, and I have nothing against anyone. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why. You know how you'll get checked in your circle, like if you're out drunk, yo
Sure.
man, you're fucking not behaving yourself. I think even my most liberal friends, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Gavin don't play that shit, bro. He don't play
Right.
on any level when it comes to that homophobia shit. You know what I mean? And if it bothered him, he never said anything primarily because he knew that I never meant it that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
I heard him flip his shit and say that word once to somebody who's about to fuck up. Because that's how we grew up. And
Right.
I'm not saying he says it often. I
Yes.
literally heard him say that word. maybe twice in my life. Now I've said a lot more than that. You know what I mean? And if you get me mad enough, I'll let that fucking thing fly. But it ain't because of how,
Yeah.
you know.
It's
I'm
a
not saying
reflex
it's cool to
almost.
say, but it's
No, it's not.
It ain't. But I'm not saying I'm above letting it rip. If you get me there, if you take me there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, there's an argument to be made that words is words. You know what I mean? And but when there's malice behind them, it's a different
Sure.
thing, man. You know why and when you're saying something. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's what I mean. Am I offended by shit like that? I personally am not. That's just me though. This person told me they were. Do I mean more than them? Do my feelings mean more than them? You know what I'm saying? So you can't even, I don't, there's no words that bother me, bro, but that's just,
Well,
I'm
again,
just,
in terms of respecting other people, if something does offend someone that may not offend you or anyone else, you not necessarily censor yourself, but you be respectful of someone else's feelings. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I don't think
I
people
think
like
that's the right
us
way to be.
three
It's
are
called
censoring ourselves. I think we're like, we don't want to hurt anyone with the shit we say.
right.
If I
I know
want to hurt
something
you, I
that'll
don't
hurt your
care.
feelings. I know something, a word that'll hurt your feelings.
Mine?
Yeah,
What is it?
I'll call it sauce.
Fuck off.
It is sauce.
This fucking
We
Raynon won't fucking let it
we
go
need to have
either.
we need to have a couple guests on. We go back and forth the old sauce
So
gravy
dumb.
debate.
So dumb.
It's
Fuck
I
you
think
know
that was a good, great story to tell and a good way to kind of wrap up like how that,
Yeah.
That
Yeah, I
that
mean,
album
hey
was-
guys, there's always the angle with these records of like the construction of the song, and is that interesting, or is the story behind it is more what we did tonight?
Right.
Because a lot of things
Well,
I
I think
said
we
tonight
covered
I
it
never
all.
said before. No, I mean actual like, yo, we found this loop from this record
Right.
without naming it, and we put the drums together this way, and this drums didn't swing right, and we did. There's that too. So
Mhm.
you can comment and tell us if the minutia of it's more interesting to you, or the making of, where I was talking to fucking Ang Lee and he told me he's making the Hulk, and he's
Yeah.
I like the story, the story of the making.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know what's more interesting because I lived it, so I could tell a 360 of it.
Right.
You know, I could do the whole episode on stuff like the Mike story, where I was like, yo, this isn't, you know what I mean? I was like, what is this with the Pro Tools? I was like, what?
Right.
I was like, yo, what if I didn't know. I'm like, yo, what if the electric goes out? What if there's another,
Right.
because B said the blackout. I'm like, if there's a blackout, what is that Pro Tools thing?
It's like Zoolander. Like, it's in the
Yeah.
computer?
Yes, bro, that's how
What the
I
hell
was.
is a hard drive?
That's how I was at Chung King, you know? And like, wait. And then
memory?
I know we're wrapping up. I remember when I went the first day there, I'm like, yeah, I need something, man. Soda, something. I know I didn't want a water because at the time, because again, I repeated earlier, at the time in my 20s, I was drinking a lot. And a soda would always make me feel better because I'm not a soda drinker. So I was like, they gotta have it. I saw a soda machine when we came in at the receptionist. There's gotta be a Sprite in there. And there was Rolling Rocks and Heinekens in the
In the vending
reception.
machine?
Yeah, so it was like, 3 sodas, water, and then two
beers.
Yeah, and also on the first night, I was taking a piss, and I looked to my left, and it was DJ Scratch,
Mm.
and I'm like, "Yo, Scratch!" And I realized I start a discussion. I mean, yo, like man rule number 1, like
There's no talking at the
there's
urinal.
no then after we were done our respective,
Did you wash your hands though?
hold on, respective deeds, I go to give him a pound before washing my claws. I'm like, my bad. So I'm like, no, you go first, you go over. And then I wash my hands and drop. He's like, yo, no, I know who you are. And he gave me a flyer. He was spinning that night. I think it was like, remember when it was like the beginning of Toka Tuesdays?
Yeah.
Remember when Tony Touch would do you remember
Tony
that
Touch.
venue? I can't remember the venue. I think it was in the Village, maybe, at this time. I don't remember what Toka Tuesdays was, but Tony Touch had a night, Billy. It was Toka Tuesdays, and Premiere would spin, everyone would spin. And it was that night. And I had just got there and had to work. And I was like, yo,
Right.
if I dip on like the first John,
Right.
that's like the peak of like unprofessional You know,
That was probably tough, especially you
it was
probably
it was
hyped,
it was
too.
super tough. It was super tough. But yeah, like every rule you could break, I started talking when we were going to the bed. You know what I mean? But Scratch like one of my favorites. So,
Brendan,
but
what's
yeah,
worse, Vinny fist bumping Scratch in the bathroom, or me fist bumping Sicko the Clown after his death match?
Definitely Vinny not washing his hands. You getting
no, but nothing happened though.
you getting
He t-
souvenir blood is
he
is what
touched
you're
the
supposed
blood.
to do.
I went for the pound and was like, "Oh my bad, my bad, my bad."
Nah,
We didn't.
You did
We
it.
didn't. I was just pre-hype.
You went like you went like this, and he was like,
A little bit. Now I like realized what had just gone down. I caught myself. He's like, "You
Gotcha.
good, man? You good?" Like he played it well. He didn't
right,
like
yeah, he didn't make
base
it
me.
awkward.
He didn't punch down like, "Oh,
Right.
you're like No Name and I'm Scratch with Gold Records. It's doing Busta LPs." You know what I mean? Like he had huge records by 03, 02,
Yeah, of course.
Scratch, like massive hits. And without them, he was still in EPMD. You know, that's
Right.
without Eric and Parrish.
Yeah.
And with either way, he was DJ Scratch. Yeah, that was mad awkward. There's a good Foxy Brown story attached to this. You'd have to remind me on a separate episode, or the listeners will have to say, "Yo, write in and say, yo, tell that Foxy Brown story."
They're definitely gonna say that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. She wasn't very nice to the receptionist at Chung King, and Planet and I had a bet, and I bet that it wasn't her. He's like,
We
"I'm
talked
telling
about
you,
that.
it's
We
her."
talked about this on the
that.
show.
Yeah, we did.
I
on
told
one
the
of
whole
earlier.
story. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, well, anyway, guys, that was at Chung King. So add that on to these stories. I mentioned Fabulous was in the room next. That's who she was with. I don't mean with, like romantically. I mean, she was doing something for his, project.
Right.
So people, and I told the Ricky Martin story.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a dickhead. Unless he, he would blame it on the security. But the way it played out looked like dickhead Ricky was like,
Yeah,
help
we
me,
We talked
help
about that.
me.
All right, where
At least
can
he
we?
was using Pro Tools.
Right. All right, you can
He
find me.
slammed the door on our grill to get Miss Sonia.
He's
an
using Pro
autograph.
Tools.
Yeah, even be.
First hit. So you're
He-
implying that I was screwing up the early Pro Tools sessions and he was frustrated?
No, this
and
would have been his
4 years later?
subsequent records. Yeah.
Right.
All right, you can find me at the Killer B24 on the Twitter space and at Brendan Long KEOTB on IG. Vinny?
You can find me at BoxCutterPazzi on IG, at Vinny_Paz on Twitter, JMTstore.com. Go cop a Pop the Trunk t-shirt over there.
Cop a lot of them.
And I keep saying it every episode. Billy and I are just working on some things, but a big music announcement soon come. Things come soon. Billy, where can they find you?
Billy_Bindlesticks on Instagram. Email the podcast, mailbag@popthetrunkpod.com, or hit us up on Instagram. Check out what we got going on at popthetrunkpod, at popthetrunk.pod.
Billy, will you be posting your receipts from bets, because we're now getting into a little wave of big fights?
Yes, and I'll be posting photos from my
Wrestling?
haunts.
From what?
From all my haunts.
What about GC Dub?
Yes.
Post
Do
a
you get a
bloody-
picture with Sicko the Clown?
I got sick of I was sitting perfectly in the aisle for them to like walk out, like high-fiving people is the
Excellent.
best.
Because you got snubbed last time.
Right, exactly.
Yes. Say goodnight, Billy.
Good night, Billy.